This is the creepiest TV dating show ever made.
You have a banging body, mate.
I'm just gonna kiss you gently.
I'll punch you in the face.
So this is my buddy.
Your therapist sucked you off. What about me?
What a lucky boy.
I'm bored now.
What's gonna happen on this island is mind-blowing.
Hello, you gorgeous donuts. Dating shows have been hugely popular, especially over the last decade. Shows like Love Island, Love is Blind, First Date have been cultural phenomenons. And due to the success of these dating shows, this has spawned an influx of dating shows with the weirdest of concepts, such as naked attraction, where you basically just determine if you're attracted to someone by their body, not who they are as a person or their face. Dated and Related, where you go to another country with your sibling and try and get each other laid. And there's even been a dating show where you try to get your mum married to somebody your age. But never has a dating show concept really left me speechless until the one that we're breaking down today. Virgin Island. Already the name by itself sounds so creepy. The concept of this series involves 12 adult virgins going to a remote island in Croatia, and they're greeted by 7 experts who are going to attempt to help the virgins lose their virginity. I wish I was joking. It's like they're diseased or something. Like, why do you need to get rid of your virginity this way? Like, they're not dying. It's fine being a virgin. In this video, we're going to break down all of the 6 episodes in this series that Channel 4 have uploaded. We're going to cover every single one of the virgins' experiences from start to finish. Hopefully they will finish. No, that's horrible. The insane intimacy workshops that the experts perform for the virgins, which honestly left me speechless. This is going to scar you for life. We're also going to see if any of these virgins actually do manage to lose their virginity and leave their virginity in Croatia. And at the end of this video, we have an exclusive interview with the most popular person that appeared on this series. So stay tuned for that because it's a good one. Let's get into it. I am so excited for this. So episode 1 begins with a shot of the island that all of the virgins will be staying on. And already this is a little bit intimidating because if they want to leave, they can't just like leave. You know, they've got to wait for a boat or a plane to take them. Like they're just stranded on this island. I did search where this island actually is, and it's in Croatia, so it is still kind of close to home. It's not on the other side of the world. Imagine if you owned this island and then just a bunch of virgins turn up and film a TV show. The only person that would be happy with that is Jeffrey Epstein. We then get a couple of interviews with some of the virgins that will be taking part in the process, and you can tell they instantly feel a little bit uncomfortable being on TV.
I'm 23, still a virgin. I feel like there's something wrong with me.
And that's why I've came to a random island in the middle of Croatia to sort myself out. Like, what? I do feel a little bit sorry for these people because they seem so caught up with like the virginity being such a big issue, whereas in reality it's kind of just a made up thing. Like, I know like you lose your virginity, but what even is virginity really? Like, it's just something that we put a label on when it doesn't really actually physically exist.
I could be a 40-year-old virgin. I feel like I'm on a really bad route right now. I need something to change.
I know you could laugh at these people, but when you are like, you know, getting on and you still haven't lost your virginity, for some reason you do really build it up to be this big thing. And the longer you kind of leave it, the more stressed you get. Like, at least I did. Like, I feel like I lost my virginity like later than a lot of people. It becomes such a much bigger thing than it actually is. All of the virgins then get to the island and they're greeted by the people that are going to be helping them.
Here they come.
Can you imagine how scared they are?
Here they come, the virgins, the big virgins. Virgin, are you? Oh, God, what a loser. Just had to shut me window there. I don't want the neighbours thinking I'm a right arse. Why is he laughing at virgins? What's he doing up there?
Want a hug?
Yeah, go on.
Yeah.
Welcome. So good to meet you.
Why are they getting greeted as if they're kind of ill? Do you know what I mean? They're getting greeted like, so I know you haven't got many days left. Do you want a hug? Come here. Like, they're just virgins. It's not that deep. Do they really need like 5 or 6 people greeting them at the island? I want to know what possesses these people to come on this show, because I guess you do get to be on TV. However, is it really like a positive thing being on TV for this reason? I don't know. Maybe they're so desperate that they feel like the only way they can lose their virginity is going to a random island in Croatia with loads of random strangers. I just don't know how you would get yourself to that point mentally. Some people might just think it's a free holiday at the end of the day, but you can tell some of the virgins definitely feel uncomfortable.
Would you like a hug?
I'm all right, thank you.
Okay.
God. No, I'm okay. Can I just go back home, actually? I was begging him the entire way, but he wouldn't turn the boat round. They all start walking to the retreat together, and they kind of get to know each other a little bit more.
I've never been abroad before, so if anything, I've popped my blind virginity.
Yay!
What did he say? He's popped his flying virginity. That's one to scratch off the list. Tick. Now butt stuff. They then get shown to their individual bedrooms, and they're also told that they all have to wear the same outfit. It's like a shirt and some pants and then a grey hoodie, but they're all very just boring colours. Like, they want them to all look the same because they don't want each other to like judge each other on the clothes that they wear. I don't really understand. I think they want them to like them for who they are. Apparently the colours they've chosen are like calm and tones so people won't feel intimidated. I mean, I think they're already feeling intimidated. Like, a bunch of people who they don't know have greeted them at this random island. They're on TV with loads of cameras simply because they're a virgin. No more intimidation can take place here unless they bring like Johnny Sins, and then the entire time they've just got to run away from him. To be fair, that would just be really, really creepy. Actually, that would probably be frowned upon. From a lot of the initial interviews with the virgins, you can tell that they've come on this show to try and gain a little bit more confidence. This is especially apparent with Emma.
Comparing myself to people online, disrupting my self-esteem, losing my virginity would probably be my final goal.
Now, that is kind of sad that, you know, she's setting losing her virginity as a goal because she has low confidence and she feels like if she loses her virginity, she might have a little bit more confidence about herself. It's so sad to see someone who is very clearly beautiful feel so low about themselves. Another running theme with all of the virgins is they all say they feel alone because they still have their virginity later in life. There's a guy called Zach who says that he expected to lose his virginity when he was at university, however it never happened, and then he thought he would lose it like finding people at work, and then it still never happened, and it's had such a detrimental effect on his life and his confidence. Like, it's crazy how just having your virginity is destroying these people's lives. And you can tell once all of the virgins are just sitting down talking about what's to come, they're all kind of crapping themselves, and rightly so, because the preview that the show gives you for what's to come in the remaining episodes is genuinely one of the maddest things ever. I'm not going to show you it, okay, so you're going to have to wait and see what happens, but genuinely, you will be lost for words. We're then introduced to the two groundbreaking sex therapists. I don't know what makes a sex therapist groundbreaking. Maybe it's every single time they do it the ground shakes. I have no idea. If that is the case, no wonder there's so many potholes around when people are literally breaking the ground doing it. They're called Celeste and Danielle, and they basically created this entire experiment.
What's gonna happen on this island is mind-blowing.
What's gonna happen? Why would it be mind-blowing? What are you doing to these people? Already I'm getting like Midsummer vibes. For anyone that hasn't seen that movie, it's basically like a horror film where like a cult like gets these people into their little system and kind of kills them off. This is what I feel like is going to happen here. Never mind these people trying to lose their virginities, I'll be surprised if they've all got their lives by the end of this. They tell us that 1 in 8 people in the UK by the age of 26 is still a virgin, which I don't know if that's like a shocking stat. I thought it would be more, honestly. I guess 1 in 8 is still quite high. Like, if there was 100 people there, that would be a lot of virgins, is what I'm gonna say. My quick maths is not on point. Celeste and Danielle then introduce us to their team of coaches who are also going to be helping the virgins on this island. This is the wildest thing I've ever seen.
And you can't learn how to give and receive pleasure by just talking about it.
Sometimes the only way to help someone is to get physical.
That's a little bit of a mad statement. Imagine you're in a relationship, okay, you're both virgins, you're just, thinking about experimenting or what he is, and you're like, well, you can't learn anything about talking about it. I need to get physical. Don't know if that's the best advice, love. Right, I think just making sure you are both comfortable with it. Sometimes people don't want to be physical straight away. The experiment then starts with phase 1, which is called Desire. The therapist set up a workshop which is aimed to remove shame from the virgins' lives about having their virginity. For the first challenge of this workshop, they get all of the virgins to close their eyes, and then one of the sex therapists just starts moaning. I wish I was kidding.
I'm gonna make lots of noise too, by the way.
Oh no! Oh God! What? Sorry, is that sexy? Oh yeah, just like, I'm just gonna close my eyes. Can you just moan a little bit? Oh, this is so good! What? Is this meant to help them? Guys, if you really want to feel turned on, just close your eyes and get your partner just like moan from across the room. Honestly, you will, don't knock it till you try it. As you can see, people like Jason aren't really buying into this straight away. Like, obviously, I feel like I wouldn't. They're not closing their eyes. Like, I wouldn't close my eyes with these random strangers. I don't know if they're just going to come up behind us and just be like, whoop. And I'd be like, whoa, hey, none of that. These people kind of freak me out. I don't really trust them. But some of the virgins like Zach are really buying into this and they start moaning along as well. Oh, come on, man. Come on. None of that, right? Let's just calm down. Can we all just learn each other's names first before we start moaning our heads off? What is this? Like, look at this shot right now. Could you imagine you just didn't know what you were signing up for with this TV show? Maybe you thought you were going on Love Island and this is what they give you? You'd be gutted. It's so funny seeing Jason's face because he's a little bit like Jim in The Office. Like, he's the only sane one here that's looking around going, wait, is nobody just thinking the same way I am right now?
Experience more and get it in, yeah.
They then move on to their second drill, which basically involves them pairing up with each other, and they have to ask the other person 3 questions, and that person must reply no to each of them, because apparently this teaches your brain that you can say no before you can say yes. Honestly, I'm as lost as you.
When I'm around a member of opposite sex, I'm very awkward. Can I punch you in the face?
What is going on? Is this meant to be like flirting? Can I punch you in the face? No. What is this achieving?
I'd love to be able to speak to a girl, go on a date. Can I feed you to a lion?
No.
What? This guy's riz is off the charts. Oh my God. I feel like this guy needs to release a book on how to flirt with women. Can I feed you to a lion? Okay. Let's just get the post-it note out. That one's getting written down. Get this guy on Take Me Out. At this point, we're only 10 minutes into the first episode, and I'm thinking, well, at least it can't get worse than this. Well, how wrong was I? The therapists really aren't happy with how much desire some of the virgins are showing in these challenges, so they get themselves up to demonstrate what real desire is. Guys, run. You're in a cult. Run. Don't look back. Swim if you have to. Just get off this island. And put yourself in their shoes for like a second. I would genuinely be like, oh my God, I'm going to die here. Why is this woman getting pushed against a pillar by a bald man? What is this teaching me? Sorry, right? I know I don't swing the way of fancying men, but surely a man wearing spandex to his calf isn't turning anyone on. What do you mean? Like, everyone's just creased. They're like, what are you doing? I don't know if it's because these people who are teaching them aren't from the UK and people in the UK are programmed to just take the piss out of everything. I feel like with other countries like America, this might work a little bit more where people like kind of buy themselves into stuff. What is kind of hilarious but also a little bit sad is there's genuinely some of the virgins watching this that break down in tears. Stop! You're literally making people cry, man! Oh, people are breaking down in tears because of you. I don't know if that makes you really good or really bad that people are watching you and they feel the need to cry, like, out of sadness. Although I am joking about Emma, who is crying, the reason she is crying is actually really deep because she has a really, like, bad connection with being intimate with people. We find out in a couple of episodes' time, like, the trauma that she's been through, and genuinely it is horrific. She says that she can't imagine somebody else wanting to be intimate with her. Like, she has so low confidence about herself.
When I was growing up, I would always get labelled as the designated ugly fat friend. I would always believe that I was ugly.
It's so sad that someone like Emma has been made to feel so small because, you know, like, conventionally, people would say that she's attractive, but she doesn't feel that about herself. And also, it doesn't really matter what anyone else thinks. 1,000 people could tell her that she's attractive, but it doesn't matter. It's what she thinks about herself that really matters because, you know, someone like Emma needs to stop basing her own confidence off other people's opinions. She needs to build this, like, strong inner confidence about herself because she deserves it. And I'm just hoping by the end of this process she does manage to, like, you know, get some inner confidence. Although I don't know if I'm convinced she will, just judging by the experts that are here. All of the virgins then leave this workshop and Jason is making me crease.
I feel like I'm in a cult. I'd be lying if I said it wasn't weird.
I'm glad Jason's here because he's the only one that's going, anyone else just think this is like really, really weird? A lot of them are like, no, this is class. And he's like, mate, we need to like watch our backs here. Can we get each other's backs? I feel like they're going to kill us. It is funny because arguably Jason goes on the best character arc in this entire process out of anyone. The experts and all of the coaches then gather privately to talk about which of the virgins need the most help at this point, and they all collectively agree that Emma needs a one-to-one experience with one of the coaches. So Thomas, one of the coaches, takes Emma for a one-to-one, and his room is just so zen. Like, look at this. It looks like something straight out of Pinterest, man. What is this? Emma opens up to Thomas that she's never experienced an orgasm. So, similar thing to my girlfriend then. They'd get on. No. The coach then asks if Emma feels comfortable with him touching her, and she says you can touch us on me knee.
The idea is to test how Emma reacts to escalating touch.
Not great, I don't think. Her face was like, nah, not really feeling it, if I'm honest. Can you just remove your hand? Not really for me. He then moves on to her thigh. I know this is the process, and I obviously I've never been in this kind of situation myself where you're getting like coached by someone like this, but it is just awkward. Like, there's no other word to describe it other than just orcs. I've just said orcs in real life. How old am I? God. Some of the other virgins are also in one-to-one experiences, and they're also feeling uncomfortable.
Out of 100, how intimate would you describe it?
Yeah, probably like 90. Step backwards, please.
To be fair, that's kind of intimidating. Just someone standing at you like this, just trying to give you the eyes. I would be like, love. Like, I wouldn't be able to maintain eye contact. I'd be like, what are you doing? Oh, yeah. Come on, what are you trying to do to us? I don't know if it makes it more awkward that they're getting this done by professionals than it would be with someone just, that you meet. Because at least you know that if someone that you meet and you have both kind of agreed that you want to do this, like they want to be here. Whereas with the coaches, the only reason they're helping you is because they're getting paid. It's just a weird dynamic that it kind of makes it hard to transition this into the real world. The person who is making the most progress is Zach. Now, you're going to see later in this series that a lot of people don't like this guy. And I feel like there's good reason why people feel uneasy around him. He's the only one that is straight away wanting to, go the full way here.
I'm just gonna kiss you gently. And I want you to see if you can really take it in. Okay?
Oh, mate, I don't know where this is going. I don't like this. It's just one of them, innit? This is going to be a hard watch. Very hard. Oh, she's sucking his beard, man. Oh, the moaning. Oh, it's the moan. You've got to stop the moaning, right? It's already uncomfortable. There's no need for the moaning. We're okay, all right? Turn the volume down, love. It's all right. Turn it. Just give it one of them, right? We've got neighbours. Give it one of them.
How does that feel?
Sorry, I didn't mean to scream there. She just started licking his beard. I'm actually uncomfortable here. Am I the virgin? Maybe I am. Oh my God. How do we know that this is a real sex therapist, right? We haven't had any credentials given to us. Where's her card? How do we know she's not just a really horny woman? I want to see her details. That would be me if I was on this island. I'd be like, look, love, can you just pull up your CV? I need to just know that we're all on the same page here. Have you got a covering letter? Now, this is only Zach's first session, so I'm intrigued to see what his last session is like. Like, is he actually going to do it with these people? I'm so intrigued. The virgins are then all collectively gathered together, and they were told to bring an item from home, which they kind of attach shame to, and then later on they're going to basically kind of throw it away and then signify that they're letting go of their shame. It's all very spiritual.
My mate gave these to me and he said, you're definitely going to need these. I didn't. I think if anything signifies sexual failure, it's having condoms go out of date.
That's kind of funny. I didn't even know condoms go out of date. Like, what? That's actually mental. I love that the show overlaid sad music on that too. Hello, darkness, my old friend. The condoms have run out again. Just put them in the freezer. Then they last a lifetime. That's the rules, right? That would be wild if you went over to someone's house and they pulled a condom out of the freezer. Very Jeffrey Dahmer vibes here. It's now day 2 of the retreat, and all of the virgins are told to write out their own erotic fantasy that they wish they could do. And then they have to read them out to everybody. Oh my God, even if I had to do this now, you know, being the big stud that I am, I would panic. Like, I feel like a lot of people watching this wouldn't feel comfortable. I don't even know what I'd write. Erotic novel? Who do I look like? Do I look like I spend me time on Wattpad?
Not erotic, so I have no idea how to write. Like, right now I bought a lottery ticket.
Wait, we need to kind of like stem something out of that. So, I bought a lottery ticket, right? My numbers came up. I needed one more number, and then I would be a multi-millionaire. The number, 69. And then a woman walked in, and then the rest is history. Is that erotic? Anyone feeling just like they need to kind of stop the video? Sorry, that's just... It's not really erotic, is it? I'm not the best at this. Why would you put I bought a lottery ticket? Oh, that is so funny, man. A lot of the stories that the contestants write are kind of funny ones. Like, one guy says that he just wants Anne Hathaway in his football team's colours sitting on his sofa. Like, I don't really... Is that an erotic novel? I don't really think so. It's more of a wish, if anything. There's only one bloke who writes something that, you know, is remotely erotic. And of course, it's Zach.
The shadow descended from the top of the hill.
What a start! The shadow descended from the top of the hill. Come on. Oh, I would die if I had to read this out. The confidence on this man.
Remove your sandals, she commanded. Obligingly, he knelt down. She lifted her skirt and forced his head between her knees.
Like, there's a woman cheering here. Like, I love this. We're supporting each other. This is great. But if this was me listening to this, I just wouldn't know where to look. I would just be like, okay. I don't know, maybe I'm just the awkward one here. Like, how would you feel just, like, taking part in these challenges? Would you feel comfortable? I don't feel like it matters if you're a virgin or not. I feel like this would just be uncomfortable for anyone. After this challenge, the therapist then determined that they need to change their focus from Emma to Jason, as Jason's making the least amount of progress and kind of just... He's not really putting himself into the challenges, he's just laughing about it all.
If it was a game, I'm level 1. That's interesting. I'd love to be able to level up in a way.
I love that. That's the most virgin explanation of describing virginity. Yeah, so it's basically like when you're on Zelda and, you know, you're just kind of on the first mission and you're trying to, you know, really just get to the king, you know, it's kind of like that. I'm just trying to progress the levels right now. So they make Jason do a touch session with Celeste, the therapist.
Is it okay? Like, does the sensation feel good? So can we try it where I put my hand on your hand?
Okay, yeah.
Okay.
He's just like, what am I doing here? Like, seriously, what am I doing here?
I want to be improved. I want to be cured.
I want to be cured. Realistically, you know, you're just not going to have confidence doing this sort of stuff if you've never done it before. That's completely normal. You just kind of need to, you know, like, nobody's great at it the first time. Some people aren't even great at it by the time they die, man. Exhibit A. Oh, God. Now, things are starting to progress for some of the virgins, especially Zach. Like, he's moved on to the next stage, which is called surrogate partner therapy. Now, for people that don't know what this is, I'm sure you'll be glad for me to explain it to you, so brace yourself. Basically, a therapist sits with you and a surrogate partner, and you and the surrogate partner are going to do various challenges together that improves your relationship and confidence with being intimate, working up to eventually you two... Yeah, they're going to do it.
I will see you guys soon. Take care.
Is there anything you want to talk about before we move to some body work?
No, full steam ahead, thank you. Choo choo. No, sorry. Again, what I'm just a fucking virg. I don't even know what that means. Such a big virg. Now, even though Zach seems to be the most confident person in, like, going the full way, this would be really kind of, you know, I don't know if this is me being harsh saying this, but does this make this woman like is this like an escort, but you're also teaching on the job? Do you know what I mean? Because you're basically paid to have, you know, intimacy with people. So what is the definition of that? Like, they call it a fancy name like surrogate therapist partner, but realistically, what is their job? I guess it is a nice thing for these people to do because obviously it's just helping people break that barrier of, like, you know, being intimate with someone for the first time. But it's just a really really unique experience, this. Just trying to get me head round it. Now, obviously, I'm not going to be able to show, like, all of the footage of these guys, you know, doing their various intimate touching, because my YouTube channel will get deleted, so you'll have to watch the actual show for that. But at this point, they're just taking it in turns to rub each other's arms.
Really make sure you're feeling what feels good.
I'm not laughing. I'm trying to, you know, just keep it together here, guys. Again, like, if you've never, you know, been intimate with someone, this is probably really nice for Zach. You know, it's just getting him more comfortable and more comfortable. But I don't know how this improves his connection in the real world, because someone isn't really, you know, not a lot of people are going to feel comfortable doing this with someone. Maybe they are, and maybe I'm in the wrong there, but I don't know how much this actually translates into the real thing. Now, Zach isn't really happy with the amount of progress that's being made here. It's a little too slow for him, like he kind of wants to move on. However, the coach, the surrogate partner, is actually saying that, like, on a first date, it normally wouldn't go this far, so this is all she's comfortable with doing now. She's kind of putting the brakes on it a little bit. Like, she's meant to be the confident one here, not the one that's slowing it down. Which makes me think, like, is Zach actually a virgin? Because he's just so confident. Like, it's almost like he's like, oh yeah, I've already done all this before. I don't want to get into it. I don't really know, but it's a possibility. Maybe we'll find out at the end. But I am intrigued to see if Zach actually does become intimate with one of these coaches, just because I don't know how they're going to show that on television. We then move into episode 2, which starts phase 2 of the experiment, and this phase is called touch. Now, there was a lot of touching in the first phase, so I don't know how much touching is going to be in the actual section that's called touch, but we'll see. And the intro teases that maybe some of the virgins might experience their first O in this episode, so stay tuned for that. That's going to be magical. All of the virgins are gathered back into the workshop room, and there's a bed in this room at this point, which already, with me walking in, I would be like, this is springing alarm bells in me mind. They're going to make us do it in front of everyone, aren't they? The therapist Celeste asks for a volunteer to join her on the bed, so Jason volunteers himself. I don't know what it is, right? But if I was Jason, I wouldn't be able to feel like this sort of way with everyone watching. It would just be awkward. Like, it's hard enough already, but with everyone going, like, how are you meant to feel in the moment? Like, everyone and all of the millions of people watching at home, you just know, like, as soon as you start to feel a little bit of arousal, the cameraman's going to be like, yeah, more of that, son. It's just awkward. After Jason demonstrates with Celeste, they then get the virgins to do this on themselves in pairs.
Can you, like, open your mouth a little bit and then relax it? Yeah. Play with it. You need to play with it. It's okay.
Sorry. But is this meant to help him be more, like, attractive? He just looked like Dexter there. He looked like a serial killer. One person I do think is going to benefit from doing this experiment is Taylor. Taylor often cries when anyone touches her, or even kind of just talks about being intimate with her. She just bawls out in tears. Now, a lot of people might think that's, like, overreacting, but she, you know, clearly has a really bad experience with being intimate for whatever reason. We'll probably learn later on. And this must be such a horrific thing that even just talking about it, like, makes you want to cry. Like, the amount of trauma that this girl must have is, like, really, really horrible. And I just hope she manages to get over it, because, you know, she deserves to be happy, and she doesn't, you know, deserve to cry every single time this kind of situation comes up. She's not crying for no reason. She kind of vaguely talks about why she thinks she gets upset. She said that in university she experimented with both boys and girls, and she had bad experiences. She is bisexual. The show mentions it every single time she comes on camera that she's bisexual. They're just really trying to hit it home for you. And I know I've took the piss out of some of the therapists and the coaches, but one nice thing is when Taylor gets overwhelmed, the therapists are really there for her, and they really don't push her, and that's really nice to see. I know it's just being a decent basic human, but they could quite easily just kind of keep pushing her and not really understand her. Another person that is really struggling, even though he's volunteering for everything, is Jason. Jason says that he even hates hugging, because in his family, like, they weren't huggers, and they were really just the opposite of, like, you know, physical kind of touch. I don't mean like in a sexual way, obviously, just kind of hugging, just showing love. Now, I have to say, before you see this next clip, brace yourself, as he's working through this with one of the coaches.
I feel sick. No, not in a bad way. I feel like in a good way.
Yeah, I want to vomit right now. Also, like, why do all of the therapists and the coaches all have a very, like, soothing voice? Like, is that part of the thing when you get, like, your degree in therapy? Do you need to kind of, like, speak like this in, like, calm and kind of tones? Is that, like, the first rule in the book? Because no therapist has a high-pitched voice. They all speak just so chill. It's like they're all built for ASMR to sleep to. Sorry, what kind of a hug is this? I mean, at least he looks comfortable. He looks really comfortable there. Couldn't be more comfortable. From Jason's point of view, like, this might seem such a simple thing to a lot of people, but this is clearly a big hurdle in his life. So this is one of the first people that he's actually hugged. So this is like him breaking down that first barrier. That touch is okay, I guess. I'm just trying to see this from his point of view. The constant moaning probably doesn't help. I don't know why the coaches keep moaning in their ears, but this is a constant running theme. Thank the Lord I'm not wearing headphones. I don't understand people that are like sitting down and watching this on Channel 4 with their families. Like, this must be the most horrific experience. I wouldn't know where to look. It's like, you know, when there's that sort of scene in a movie and you're sitting with your family, you go, round. Anyone fancy a cup of tea? Anyone? I'm just going to go on the phone. Is it done yet? Is it? Maybe I need to go to this island. I think watching this has raised a few issues for me. But Jason seemed to enjoy himself in this.
So I was standing like this. Because as much as I was like that, and I had a boner. So I was like...
He had a boner. That's funny. That's funny. That was why he was standing like that. I was wondering. Looked a little bit stiff in more ways than one, I guess. The virgins then split up into pairs to give themselves a little bit more experience with just like physical touch. They end up massaging each other. And Jason has managed to build up a lot of confidence from having the one-to-ones, from constantly putting himself out there in the demonstrations. However, his confidence is shot to bits when he gets paired up with Charlotte.
Why do you have these horrible stretch marks?
I don't know, right? You say horrible, did you?
It looks like you got
You just
scratched.
see what arse?
That's one of the cruelest things that you can say to someone. Like, obviously somebody, you know, they have no impact on, you know, having stretch marks. Is just part of their body. And like, not only have you pointed them out, which instantly just kind of ruins their confidence for a lot of people, but you use the word horrible. Like, that'll stick with him forever. Like, he'll always remember that tiny comment that you've made. Like, that's such a horrific way to speak to someone, especially when you're all here to try and build confidence. Why would you tear somebody down? Like, this is such a bad personality trait to have. Jason kind of says to her, like, why did you say that? And she doesn't kind of feel any remorse for it. And this has instantly made me feel a certain way about Charlotte. It's almost like she likes putting people down so that she feels better about herself. You are going to see later in this series how Charlotte has the same insecurities as what Jason does, which just makes this so much more wilder why she would say this.
I'm bored now.
Yeah,
I'm bored now.
What do you mean you're bored? Like, you're doing it to each other. What?
See, okay, do you want me to show you on you?
No, let's go. I'll put more oil on. Whack it on.
Now, I don't know if Charlotte just, you know, struggles with the way she speaks to people, but this is not, like, the right way to go about this process. Like, you're not an expert. You're here for the same reason Jason's here, because you have no, like, experience and no confidence with physical touch and, you know, being intimate with someone. There's no need to constantly put someone down to make yourself feel better. Yous are both here to learn. Like, that's all yous are doing here. Surely you should be helping each other. And it's really sad because when Jason and Charlotte return back to the group, Charlotte kind of embarrasses Jason in front of everyone by saying he wasn't very good at it. And then Jason also says to the camera that one of his biggest insecurities is his back and the marks on his back. So his confidence has just been shot to bits, probably worse than when he actually arrived on the island, just because of how Charlotte's been with him. After this, all of the virgins are then gathered back for another workshop, and this time the raunchiness is turned up a notch. Every single episode they just keep heating it up. Now, one of the virgins volunteers as tribute to demonstrate with one of the therapists, and all the other virgins just look so uncomfortable they can't even watch.
Tom may be finding his wild side, but for the rest of the group...
Bro, They need to get rid of those Rode microphones they've got right here. Like, just can we stop micing them up when they're doing it? We get the picture. We don't need to hear it all, okay? Ben is literally covering his face. He can't even watch this. Holly looks like she's gonna throw up, and Emma's just absolutely creased. This is not working. Charlotte then volunteers to go next and pair up with another virgin. Now, the person who volunteers to do it with Charlotte is Ben, and Ben, up to this point on numerous occasions, has said that he feels a certain way about Charlotte. He fancies her. He's constantly trying to kind of flirt with her. However, Charlotte has made it clear to us, but not to Ben, that she has zero interest in him. So when Ben volunteers to do it with Charlotte, obviously, her reaction is just kind of awkward and creates this awkward environment.
Yeah, I'll do it.
You can change your mind.
Yeah, I won't do it. It's fine.
Yeah, okay.
Oh.
Do you want me to do it for you?
Okay.
Oh, man. I mean, it's her choice, her body. You know, if she doesn't feel comfortable, that is completely fair. But you don't actually, have to be intimate here. We're just kind of, demonstrating. I just feel so bad for Ben because, like, she hasn't told him that she's not interested in him, and Ben clearly really likes her. It's just really awkward. And Ben's a nice guy. Like, he's not creepy or not weird. Like, he just genuinely likes her. After this, Charlotte just demonstrates with the therapist, and Ben just has to watch, and he just looks so sad. God. Oh, God. I think Ben just struggles with inner confidence. Like, he doesn't feel like anybody would ever be attracted to him. So when little scenarios like this happen, it's only going to dent his confidence more. Obviously, like, Charlotte as well within her rights to refuse to do it with someone. But I'm just speaking from Ben's point of view. After this workshop, the therapists speak with the coaches, and they are, like, surprised that Jason didn't volunteer to do this, because normally he, like, throws himself into everything. He just really wants to improve. And they say this is because Charlotte has, like, ruined his confidence by the comments that she made about his back. So Celeste pulls him in for another one-to-one, and she's basically just on top of him trying to improve his confidence. Oh God, Justin will have to blur this. Oh my God, get off him. He's a virgin. I still haven't seen your papers. You're just a horny woman, man. This is just wild. They're just making out. Like, they're not kissing on the lips, but they're doing everything else, basically, apart from any kind of touching. Intimate touching, I mean. I'm not going to show you, but just listen, right? And you can just stare at my reaction whilst this goes on. Yeah. Oh, this is... You get some haircut in here. This is... I'm not comfortable.
Taking your energy seriously now and look at me like, I want to you kind of vibe.
This is one of the wildest TV shows I've ever seen, and I say that quite often, but this time it really, really does actually apply. It's the fact this is being documented. Like, there's a camera on these guys right now. It's mad because after, like, they do this and they seem really intimate, they're doing everything but actually, like, actually doing it. Jason just gets up and leaves and acts like he's just had, like, a coffee meeting with her.
Yeah, see you soon. Have a lovely day.
You too.
Right, yeah. Bye.
Sorry, have a lovely day. Right, I'll see you later. Right, see you same time next week. Yeah, right, alright, see you later, love. Right, cheers, bye. Are you taking the piss out of me? I love that he thanked her for it, though. That's so kind. Thanks very much, love. Appreciate it. Thanks, cheers. Moving on, one person that is really struggling, like I previously mentioned, is Ben. Obviously, after getting knocked back by Charlotte and not really putting himself out there in any of the challenges, he kind of just seems down and he's not really investing himself into the process. To be fair, that would probably be me. You can tell he just doesn't really know how to go about interacting with someone that he likes or a woman in general.
I've got a spreadsheet of just like every date I've been on. The same way a football manager would see their team. I like to analyse things.
Well, that'll keep the virgin label strong intact, right? At least you're consistent, son. He's got formulas and everything. Equal sum, open brackets, me plus you equals baby. Imagine if you've been on a date with this guy and this is how you find out that you're in his spreadsheet. Like, I need to know more about this spreadsheet. Like, what are the kind of columns and categories here? What is he rating himself on? Like, flirting techniques? What he ordered? Footsie under the table? What's the score of that? Was there much chemistry? Or is he, like, speaking about it in football terms? Is he like, well, I really really could have, like inverted me fullbacks more on this day. I feel like that would have, been a better plan of attack to really get through. I remember this person that I used to know, every single time they slept with someone, they would like put it in the notes page and like rate them, and I always found that like a little bit odd. Like, what is it? This is just kind of treating people like numbers here. So to make Ben more comfortable, of course, Celeste volunteers to do some touch therapy with them, and Ben actually gets to the stage where he leans in for a kiss. I'm sure Celeste is just really horny, Like, she's just too, like, forward with these people. I know that's her job, but she's like, yeah, you can kiss us if you want, right? If you want, I'm just saying. However, she does actually seem to be helping these people. Like, Ben says after this that this is the first time he's ever been remotely intimate with a woman, and it's really helped his self-confidence, so that's totally a good thing. Again, I'm unsure how this kind of transitions into the real world. Like, obviously he's got to have to, get to a position where somebody wants to do that with him. Does it mean that, like, when he gets into that position, he's no longer nervous about it? Is that kind of what this stage works on? Because again, like, Celeste is being paid to be there. Like, she wouldn't be there if she wasn't being paid, so we're still kind of there's a sticking point here. But I guess it's helping him just be more confident with intimacy then. Moving on, the person who is struggling even more than Ben is Taylor, who we previously mentioned kind of cries every single time intimacy gets brought up. So she's been paired up with a surrogate partner called Andre.
Surrogate partners help by forming a therapeutic relationship supported by a clinical therapist.
Hot take, right? And this is so hard to navigate. If I, obviously being a virgin, like, I would feel more uncomfortable being in this position than I would just doing it the other way. Like, the other way is in like another way, just back at home. Like, I imagine even a person that is really experienced and, slept with loads of people or whatever, like, even they would be really nervous in this. Like, it's just a weird experience. I don't understand how it translates.
Two of you to enjoy your time together.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you very much.
She does not want to be there. She's like, don't leave me alone with Andre. I'm going to cry again, please. Taylor ends up crying and opens up to Andre that there's just this invisible wall when it comes to, speaking about this sort of thing that she really just wants to kind of get over and break through. And Andre actually is really good with her. Like, he's just chill and he doesn't push her too much, and he just tells her to leave if she feels uncomfortable, which she does. There is one thing later in this series which kind of not solves, but definitely helps Taylor out a lot when she discovers it. So stay tuned for that. But I am hoping by the final episode she makes significant progress here. We're now moving into episode 3, which is the halfway stage of this experiment, and still none of the 12 virgins have lost their virginity or even remotely close, really. I'm not confident that every single one of these are going to lose their virginity by the last episode, but I guess we'll see. I am hopeful, okay? In this episode, the show moves into phase 3, which they're calling confidence. Their first challenge is to read out a time in their life when they were intimate with someone and it really ruined their confidence. They have to read it out in front of all the other virgins and the coaches, and the virgins are giving them like live feedback of this experience, just kind of telling them that, they were fine to feel the way that they felt and they're valid and feeling like bad about this experience. What is funny though is when they're making their way to this challenge, like, the way that the virgins are talking about this experience is so British.
Oh, they're all down there already, look at them. Bunch of hippies.
You can tell none of them want to be here. They're instantly regretting their decision. They're like, it wasn't worth the free holiday. Get me home. I can't leave because I'm on a bloody remote island. I wonder if they're allowed their phones or anything. You never see them with their phones, so I wonder if they were just completely detached from, like, the rest of the world. They could go missing and nobody would know. This part is interesting though, and I think it definitely does help the virgins out a little bit because they're opening up about stuff they've probably never talked about, and, like, the virgins are just reassuring them that they're okay, and they're actually giving really good advice. But it is interesting, like, it's like this with life in general. Like, you can give really good advice to people, but when it's your turn to take the advice, it's so hard to, like, take your own advice on board. I don't know why it works that way, but I feel like it's because when you're not emotionally involved in the situation, you can just see it for what it is. But when it's your issue and your emotions are involved, it just messes everything up. I definitely think this is one of the more positive workshops that they've done and definitely will help the people. After After this, Taylor then does another one-to-one session, however this time with one of the women coaches, and she actually seems to be making progress for the first time ever. She is crying, but she's allowing the surrogate partner to touch her, which before she's never let anyone touch her. Now, as I've previously said, every single time Taylor appears on screen, they always say she's bisexual, and I was wondering, like, why they keep saying that, because, like, we get it, like, we know, like, why they keep hammering home that she's bisexual. And I think it's because in this meeting, she actually comes out as gay. She says she's not bisexual. She's not interested in men. And I feel like that's why they've hammered home what she thought she was, because now, for the first time in her life, she actually knows, like, you know, who she is. And this makes so much sense, because with Andre, she was so uncomfortable and just didn't want to be there. However, with the women surrogate partner, she was, like, really comfortable and let her touch her. I say really comfortable. She let her touch her. So she's just a lot more confident in the presence of a woman, because that's, you know, who she likes.
I think I've been deluding myself into, like, no, I like men as well because that's normal and good. So, like, I didn't feel scared. I felt really good.
This makes us want to cry. This is so nice. So this is a really positive thing. One of our first really positive things from this experiment. There's been a lot of weird stuff. This is actually really nice. She's just came out and she's like, I'm gay! Okay, Croatia, I'm gay. I'm just so happy for Taylor. Okay, like, she deserves this. The show then cuts to a funny scene where the virgins are all talking about how much they'd sell their V for.
I'd say a couple $100K plus.
I'll do it for a tenner and a packet of donuts.
What about your anal virginity?
No.
All right, well, that's a different question. Come on. It's a little bit too far, love. Isn't it so weird that that's actually a thing? Like, people can sell their V. Like, who is buying that? Like, I feel like we need to check their hard drives. That is just... Why would you... Oh, like, spending 6 figures on taking that away from someone? It's so weird. How do we know there wasn't people trying to undersell them as they were getting on the island, you know? Just kind of, like, on the black market. Just, love, come with me, I'll give you money for it. You don't need to go on there. Now, because Taylor came out, this has kind of made the therapist think that maybe some of the other virgins are struggling knowing who, you know, they really want to be intimate with, like whether it's male or female. So they make the girls supply makeup to the lads to help them discover whether they might be bi or gay. I wish I was kidding.
Society can give young men such a narrow view of masculinity. So we really wanted to help them start to get past some of those myths.
I don't really understand what this... I don't really... Like, what? I don't know if this is just a bit for the actual TV show, not to actually help them. This just seems a bit off. They're saying they're doing this to kind of break down, you know, toxic masculinity, I guess. However, in the very next scene, they take just the lads away to go and chop some wood and scream. So it's like, what is it here? Like, that's arguably the most stereotypical man thing to do. Like, I don't understand what they're trying to get at here. Tom says in his entire life he's been called gay, whereas he feels like he's attracted to women.
I'll start dropping, singing along to Taylor Swift, but a lot of people didn't quite know how to differentiate between camp and being gay.
Yeah, that's just a music taste, right? You like dropping to ABBA and Katy Perry. You do you, Tom. Right? That doesn't mean anything. Doesn't mean anything at all. The next stage the virgins are put through is having to sit across from each other and, like, flirt in a weird way. They're trying to get them to do small talk like you do on a date, but it's just really awkward.
I like how you get lost in your thoughts there.
Always. Yeah, in my own world. I like that you noticed that. I'm very observant.
I think just watching people flirt in general is like, it just kind of puts us off. I just don't like seeing it in general, but you know, when it's two people that you know are really uncomfortable doing it, it's just an elevated heightenedness of awkwardness. Was that even a sentence? I'm losing me mind, dear. The virgins do this in pairs, and I feel so sorry for Ben, because nobody volunteers to do it with Ben, so Ben has to do it with one of the therapists. It's like being in school and no one wants to do it with you, so you've got to do it with the teacher. Not this specifically, I'm talking about colouring in or something, obviously.
Who wanna try it with Ben?
Oh, the look. It's the look. Oh my... I feel so bad for Ben, genuinely, like, my heart is breaking for him. Like, what is this man awful off camera? Because he seems just pretty logical and he just seems a bit awkward, right? He is the oldest person there, I believe he's 30. So people... I don't know if people are judging him for that, but people just don't want to be even in his vicinity. It's the fact that no one was making eye contact with the therapist. It's like trying to not be picked in school. You're like, oh, no, not me, I don't know. What? Who's calm? Not me. Like, look at the therapist's face. Even she's like, oh, God, we can't help this guy. He's just a verge. For life, he's just a verge. So Celeste, the therapist that has been doing the most work with Ben, ends up just kind of, just volunteering and just helping him out.
When you like get all into the experience, you're really beautiful.
Thank you. So are you.
Ah, that's young love there. That's lovely. That's lovely, that. Oh, it's just the silences and stuff. If this is on a date, I would be like, this is going horrifically. I know this is just a safe space for them to experiment, but again, it's not. Ben has to do it with another virgin. He has to do it with a civilian. He can't do it with the experts because they're pretending. They're not actually trying. They're pretending to like him, so it's not a real experiment.
I got up and no one wanted to join with me. The ironic thing is the confidence section has probably wrecked my confidence.
I don't know how they can help Ben. Like, I feel like none of the other 11 virgins fancy him, so he can't, experiment with them. He can only do it with the therapists. So how much can he really learn from this? I don't know. I don't know when he goes home if he can actually establish a relationship with someone who would actually want to be with them. Using the techniques from this, I'm unsure. The therapists then turn their attention back to Emma, who they think is struggling a little bit. She gets took to the Zen Den. That's the actual name of this room. And this chat is actually really good because Emma opens up about how she's always trying to make sure everyone else is okay. She never thinks about herself. And Celeste basically gets at a repeat, what about me? Just trying to reaffirm to her that she needs to put herself first because at the end of the day, it's a really nice trait that she cares for other people. But the one person that you're with until the day you die is yourself. So you need to treat this person, good. And then if you treat this person good, it means you can treat everyone else good because you love yourself. That's a very deep moment. Okay, anyway. I just really want Emma to just believe in herself because I honestly feel like she can just be such a strong, just confident person if she just keeps kind of, improving. Because she deserves to be. She's great. She's such a nice person. But it doesn't matter anybody else saying that. She needs to believe it herself. The funniest thing is Celeste gets Emma to start punching things to make her really hammer home about herself.
What about me? What about me? Yeah, more. This is my body. Yes. It's all about me. It's all about you.
I love this, but Emma, don't take this into a relationship, if you're arguing with someone, right? That's never the answer, just saying. Emma then opens up to the producers about how when she was 7, she had a really bad experience with another child where the child kind of took advantage of her. And obviously, at that age, that is one of, that it's really nice that she's being honest and she can open up about this, but that is really, really traumatic, especially at that age where, you're just kind of discovering things. You shouldn't even be thinking about things like that in that manner at all. And the fact she was exposed to it that young is obviously going to have such a detrimental effect to her relationship with being intimate when she gets older. Now moving on, the experts pair the virgins up and actually send them on a real date night together so they can kind of just experience actually being, in that kind of vibe with someone. In this date, all of the virgins must follow the 3-step methods that the therapists have given them. Step 1 is give out loads of compliments, which I guess you could argue whether that's a good thing. I mean, giving people compliments, but if you're really flooding someone with compliments, I feel like that's a little bit overwhelming for some people. Would be for me. Step 2 is giving the person the look, which basically means just maintaining eye contact and looking at them seductively. And then step 3 is a kiss. You can kiss them on the hand, the cheek. I don't think any of them kiss on the lips. That's a little bit too far. Again, being a virgin myself, I don't know if these steps are the best. Would this work on you if you want a date? Maybe it would, but I feel like it's kind of like they've just went on WikiHow how to flirt. They've just copied and pasted it. If someone was on a date, they gave me an overwhelming amount of compliments, and then they just stared into my eyes seductively for over 10 seconds, and then they kissed my hand. Chances are there's not going to be a second date, I'm afraid. That just wouldn't work for me. But then again, my kind of flirting with Chloe was just taking the piss out of her. So who am I to say? Now, obviously, because they have to follow this method, all of the dates are just really awkward and there's no real connection between any of the virgins, apart from 2. Emma and Viraj have a really good connection and they're kind of going off script and not using this 3-step method. They're basically just flirting with each other freestyle. It seems like a normal date.
Beautiful.
How's that?
Yeah, lovely.
Yeah?
Good for you?
Of course.
I'm just looking forward to getting to know him more.
Okay. This is what we love, Emma, you queen. Viraj is a very nice man, okay? We haven't talked about him yet because he's had zero airtime up until this moment. This might be the only two people that lose their virginity. Again, they're nowhere near that point at this point, but it's the only two people who seem to form any connection, apart from Ben with the therapist, but we're not counting that. I'm going to say, early prediction, I'm going to stick a tenner on Paddy Power that them two end up doing something intimate, including a kiss. Okay, I will take a kiss as a victory. On the lips, of course. That's the end of episode 3, and the trailer they give for what's to come in the next episode is genuinely mental. I can't believe that they're taking it to this level, so let's see what happens. Now, episode 4 starts off with the wildest workshop yet. Every single episode, they've been turning up the heat a little bit. Now, I feel like they can't turn it any hotter. To make the virgins more confident in their own skin, they make them all dress in these like bathrobes, being naked underneath. They sit them all down and they get one of the coaches up to completely strip naked in front of them.
So, Deva, if you feel ready.
No! Keep your clothes on! Oh, blip!
So this is my buddy, everyone?
Yeah, we can see that. Thanks very much, coach. Bloody hell. If anything, this would just make me feel less confident. The man's packing. Are you joking us? I'd be like, well, now I'm never taking me clothes off. Cheers, Celeste. I was like, why has he got 3 legs? What's going on there? Sure. Genuinely, if I was one of the virgins, I know I keep repeating myself, but I would be like, okay, I'm probably going to get killed now. Like, now they're turning up the volume here. It's only a matter of time. It's too much like the movie Midsommar. It's too much. The first time I watched this episode, I had to shut my curtains because I was like, I don't want the neighbours to think I'm a weirdo. They're walking past like, what the hell's he watching? On the big telly? God, he's horny. Now, if this wasn't already intense enough, they then ask for the virgins one by one to strip naked in front of everyone, including all of the coaches. They then have to walk up to the mirror and like stare at themselves in front of everyone. And again, I don't know how much this actually, I guess it would make you feel a little bit more confident, maybe, because it's like such a barrier you're breaking down. But, you know, a lot of people who aren't virgins have definitely never had to do this to, you know, lose their virginity. I know these are in, you know, a very specific and unique situation, but I just don't know if this is needed, you know? Obviously, the person that demonstrates first is Jason. This man he literally just does not care. He's thrown himself into it. It's really great to see, to be fair, because he's having a little laugh with it, and he's like a really good person for the show.
Can you come to the mirror with me?
You know, fair play, Jason, but what is this show, man? Like, genuinely, what am I actually watching here? They're doing the most. They're doing anything but being intimate with each other. They're just like, what are all these side quests? For what reason? Like, look at all the coaches. Why are all of the coaches sitting cross-legged? It's just so off-putting. I would just feel so uncomfortable here. Like, what is this guy writing down? Realistically, what are you writing down? Nice cut. It's now Charlotte's turn to get up and take her kit off. What a weird way to say that. I find what she says really interesting because she says that she's really self-confident about her body. She says that she's lost a lot of weight since a few years ago and she's insecure about the scars that she has. Now, it's just so interesting because she put Jason down for his scars and his stretch marks, yet she, you know, has just said that she's got the exact same thing. So again, it makes me think why would she do this to Jason? Like, she knows how much it destroys your confidence to get those comments about your body, and she's done that to somebody else. Is it almost like she wants someone else to kind of feel her pain, or she's like putting Jason down so she feels better about her own? Like, I just really struggled with why she made that comment now we found out this information about her. Because she does seem like a nice person, but I just think the way she speaks to people is really horrific. Like, she doesn't like have much empathy for people. She also admits that, you know, she's never like found a friendship group, whether it be in school, whether it be in college, university, or at work. And I don't know if it's down to the way that she kind of like speaks to people, because she often speaks down to people. Like, there's various instances in this show where I've thought, ooh, like that wasn't like a nice kind of way to speak to someone. But I don't know if that's just the way she is. I have no idea. Obviously, we only get to see so much footage. We don't get to see everything. Now, because this is a very intense workshop, there's one person called Louise who actually storms out. Like, she says she can't do this. Like, it's just too much for her. And I feel like I would definitely be the same. Like, I wouldn't want to do this even now. Like, I don't know if that's like a lack of confidence in my body or what it is, but I just wouldn't feel comfortable doing this. And in my opinion, it doesn't have anything to do with actually, you know, being intimate with someone. I know you have to take your clothes off in front of someone, but you can just turn off the light for that, right? Just be like, that big light does not go on no matter what happens. I don't care if there's a fire, the big light stays off. Louise does end up coming back into the workshop and taking her clothes off, but she's just in a bikini. She's not completely naked, which is fair play. Like, that's still a hurdle she's broken down. One of the coaches then takes Louise into like a private one-to-one, and Louise actually fully strips naked in front of her. I feel like she's just more confident in front of one person rather than like, you know, everyone else. I mean, she's still in front of millions at home, but you can kind of just psych that out once you're in the moment. And she's really thankful that she was took like aside to do this one-to-one because it actually has really improved her confidence. Louise also opens up about her relationship with her dad. She says that her dad's never really wanted to bother with her, and this has really affected her because she says, like, if her dad's never wanted to bother with her, why would somebody, like another guy who's not related to her, like, want to take care of her? Which is really deep, and like, it's really nice that she's able to process these emotions in like a safe space. That is one good thing about this show, is yes, it's got the mental stuff of the like the demonstrations and stuff, which I feel like is unneeded and just kind of for shock value, a lot of it. But a lot of these people are emotionally working through some trauma and kind of getting it out there for the first time, which is only a good thing. I just wish it wasn't on TV. If it was, they were just able to do this without the whole nation watching, but you know, obviously that just isn't how it works. From one-to-one to another, Dave, who has kind of been in the background of this show, he's had quite a few funny comments, but not really been a main character, I'd say. He's with his surrogate partner, Kat, and she's tried to build up with him to end up doing the deed. Doing the deed. Is that what people say? I don't even know why I said that. I never say that. Basically, Kat wants to do it with him and she's building him up so that he's able to have enough confidence to do it, which is pretty mental. In this session, they get so close that they end up just actually snogging and she's fully on top of him. Obviously, I'm not going to be able to show this. You're just going to have to take me word for it. The show then alludes that later on in this episode, in another session, Kat and Dave are going to go one step further, so I'm intrigued. Just kind of emotionally edging the audience here, Channel 4. I see what you're doing. But again, still nobody has lost their virginity, which was the only goal, apparently, when they came here. One person who is still frustrated, he's been frustrated from the first episode, is Zach. He says that the process is just moving too slow for him. This guy is just too, like, he's just like intense. Do you know what I mean? He's got a lot of emotions and hormones just really just taking over him. He just keeps reiterating that he's ready to do it, but no one's given him the opportunity.
It is the next step, and it's something I want to do, and you know, I'm not afraid to say that.
Out of everyone that is in this process, I don't understand why Zach is here, because emotionally, doesn't seem like he struggles with the idea of doing it like everyone else does. He seems like there's just nobody at home who wants to do it with him, and he thought that this would be like an easy route for him to just lose his fee. That's the kind of vibe I get from Zach. I feel like a lot of other people are really working through their emotional connection to it, whereas he just is just you know, ready to go. He was ready to go once he got on the island. Like, his horniness is just off the charts. He takes it upon himself to announce to the group that every single day he's going to give all of the girls in the group a compliment each.
Emma, you have some incredible eyes.
Thank you very much.
It's amazing to stare into them.
Now, some people might be like, oh, that's a nice thing to do. However, it just comes off as really creepy.
Louise, you have a banging body, mate. You're f***ing sexy as hell.
Oh, this guy. I think this guy's like the definition of like nice guys finish last. Like, he thinks he's doing like everyone a favour here. This is just like, they don't need a guy telling them about their body. That's literally what they're trying to get away from. They're trying to install inner confidence, right? They're trying to let go of other people's opinions about themselves. Yet he thinks it's the positive thing to give them more opinions, external opinions about themselves. Do you know what I mean? This is going to send them back even more. Like, they don't want people judging their bodies, especially you, Zach.
Holly, you can be so funny sometimes, and you have the greatest expressions. Yeah.
Oh my. Oh, hey, stop. Stop speaking! Stop talking! Someone stop him, please! I don't know what's worse, saying someone's got like a banging body or just calling someone funny. Because the person who you've just called funny is going to be like, well, am I not physically attractive? Like, this guy is killing them. He's like, he thinks he's doing a nice thing, but he's just ruining all their confidences. This is like, someone needs to stop him.
Charlotte, you're always flirting with me, but I know you'll say you're not, but you're a liar.
Is that a compliment? Your compliment is that you're always flirting with me. Oh, well, definitely putting that on me Tinder bio. Thank you very much. Don't even know why I'm a virgin. I've got so much confidence now. Thanks, Zach. You should be a life coach, fella. Emma says that she wants to be taken off Zach's list to get a compliment every day because it's like ruined her confidence, what he said. Like she doesn't want someone else judging her body, which is what I said initially. And Zach just kind of like shrugs it off as if like, oh, like what, why? It's like, it's weird that he can't see like the impact of what he's just said to the group there. Luckily for the girls, the virgins are then getting split into both male and female groups for the next workshop. The boys are sat in front of a diagram of a woman's bits. I can't say the actual word because I'll get demonetized. And the experts are basically describing how to please it. And not only do they do it with the diagram, Kat, the surrogate partner, actually strips off and demonstrates on her own body. I wish I was kidding.
I think the show and tell is really important because when you look...
Show and tell! You can't call this show and tell! Show and tell's like you bring a book in from home! Not this! You're right, class, I've just brought me mum in. She's gonna just, No. Kat's doing the most, like, you know, anything for airtime, our Kat. I guess it is. In a weird way, I guess, is this a positive thing? Because, you know, obviously, like, with, you know, watching corn or, you know, just off a diagram, it doesn't give you, like, an exact representation of what it looks like. So then seeing a real-world version of it, it's going to make you more familiar with it. I'm just trying to see this from a positive angle here. I do want to say the confidence on Kat is remarkable that she can just do this while all these men just stare at her. The girls then get the same treatment, but from one of the male coaches who just starts, like, you know, fiddling with himself. Fuck, this show is mental, man. How is this on Channel 4? To be fair, the video we did on Naked Attraction, that is also very mental, so they have a history of doing shows like that. Girls then ask some questions about the guys' bits.
Do you think you prefer touch of like hands? Or like someone's tongue?
The best combination that I enjoy
is actually the Gluck Gluck 3000. I'm glad you asked him. No, he doesn't say that. I don't think so. Hopefully not.
Is when someone's using their hand, but also their mouth.
Right.
Honey bugger. Moving on, Zach is talking with Emma about the whole compliment situation earlier, and Zach basically admits that the reason he didn't say that all of the girls were attractive is because he's not attracted to them.
You don't want to be saying like, oh, Louise, you got a banging body, Emma, you got nice eyes, and then you say, Pia, you got a nice smile.
I'm not attracted to Pia.
So you're basically admitting there that you weren't actually giving a compliment to all the girls because you wanted to be nice. You were doing it because you wanted some, you know, you wanted to flirt with them. You wanted something out of it. You know, you're trying to put the feelers out there and you're basically trying to frame it as if you're the good guy. You're just trying to bring people up, whereas reality, it was a selfish tactic. You've just admitted that there. Now, moving on to Charlotte. Charlotte, despite, you know, my opinion on her earlier in this episode and this series in general, she is making significant progress. She's actually stripped completely naked in front of Andre. Like, she's never did this in front of a human ever. So that's like huge progress. And even though I have, you know, criticised her, I am happy for her because she is kind of, you know, being more comfortable with just being intimate, which is just a nice thing for anyone. One thing that I haven't really touched on is like all of the time the experts and the therapists after that one-to-ones are like meeting up and talking with each other, but just the way they sit in like a circle really freaks me out.
Dave was very interesting.
I did think he...
Like, why are they sitting like this? Why are they like sitting crossed legs? Why is this guy doing that weird sign that like Andrew Tate and all those people do? Like, what are you doing, fella? Like, this is so weird. Why aren't you just sitting at a table like just normal people? And also, why are the therapists like higher up as if they're like better than the coaches? It's just such a weird dynamic. Like, imagine just walking past, you'd be like, what are they? What's this is? It would just make us feel really uncomfortable and really unsettled. The show then cuts back to the previous scene of Kat and Dave kind of getting more intimate with each other. At this point, I'm thinking that Dave is the closest to losing his V here. Like, this is the only kind of situation where it's been said that he's close to possibly getting there. Come on, Dave, please, just what he is. Can't show this. What?
It's always weird the first time.
I can't show this. They're completely naked, and basically Kat is just letting him, you know, just feel about. And this is the first time that Dave has actually, you know, touched a woman like this, so Kat just has given him like a safe space to just kind of experiment, you know, not actually do it, but just feel around in there. I don't know how to explain this. And Dave says that this is actually really educational. He goes back to the group and he doesn't actually tell them what he did with Kat, but I don't believe they went the full way, but I believe obviously like he's touched a woman's bit for the first time. So Dave has gone the furthest to this point, and that is how episode 4 ends. Now at the end of this video, we are going to see where each of the virgins are to this very day, because this entire series was filmed over a year ago, so stay tuned for that. Episode 5 then begins with the virgins learning about the big O. I've got to say that, otherwise I'll get demonetized. You know what I mean? And Dave's reaction to finding out what the topic is today is so hilarious.
Great.
That was like a scene from The Office. That was too good. Dave is an absolute cultural hero. Oh, oh no. Oh no. What, they exist, do they? I don't think they exist. They're a myth, right? And girls can't get them. That's what I've heard. Girls, they don't actually happen to girls, so it's the facts, you know. Anyway, moving on. Celeste and Danielle set up another workshop, which I bet the virgins are buzzing about, where they basically teach the virgins how to put, like, people into different positions where they can achieve their reaching the O. Again, I've got the post-it notes here just in case anyone, you know, just in case anyone else at home wants to, you know, write down any notes. I'm not going to, obviously, but I need to stop making that joke. What is also hilarious is they're making them do dirty talk whilst they're doing it, which just makes the entire thing a lot more awkward. Like, their demonstration of it is so funny.
You're so gorgeous.
Then they switch to cow.
Oh, stop with the humming, man. I can't do any more humming. What is this? Like, you're sounding like me when I'm looking at me dinner in the microwave. What are you doing? I can't deal with this. How are they keeping a straight face? How are you doing it, Ben? Like, if I was witnessing this, I would just be like... think I'm doing that? You think you've got me? Knee chance. No chance, love. I'd rather stay a virgin for the rest of my life. I'm not moaning in front of 12 people and thousands or millions at home. Got another thing coming, love. It's not me. The first person to volunteer is obviously Zach, and he's very forward with it.
Very. Yeah. What a lucky boy.
Look. No. Like, clearly, I am not the sexiest of people, okay? So, you know, I don't even know why I'm weighing in on this. But I don't really think you should be saying to someone, I'm a lucky, lucky boy. Very. I'm a lucky, lucky boy. Honestly, ladies, would that be like, oh, God, this man. Oh, what? It's like being with Jason Momoa. What's going on? Zach then puts the therapist in all of the positions she asks him to, and after he's finished, he actually gives her like a little slap on the bum, which he also asks for. I think that's just an extension task. I don't really know if that's, you know, got any... I don't know if you get any marks for that. And afterwards, he gets the clap from... Obviously, all of the other virgins. He doesn't actually get the clap from... That would be a curveball. That was very great, Zach. The directions to the clinic are just if you go left, right, left, and then you're straight there. And as the virgins are getting up one by one to perform this, it just gets more and more awkward. Like, it's Dave's turn, and it's just so, like, hard to watch.
Great eyes.
You are very sexy.
I don't actually think it's anything Dave's doing. I just think this is just... Like, it's like you've asked ChatGPT how to be sexy. I mean, I don't use ChatGPT, but I imagine what this is the thing it would tell you to do. But it is really nice to see some of the virgins like come out of their shell a little bit, because I guess looking at this in a positive light, if you're doing this in front of loads of people, surely when it's just you and another person, you know, that should seem like a breeze. I'm trying to see this as like a positive thing right now. Like, Emma just seems a lot more confident than she was in episode 1, and I think it's because she's constantly like breaking down boundaries, and it's really really nice to see because she's had such a good journey so far on the show. The therapists and coaches then gather together privately and they say that their mission for the end of this series is to make sure that every single woman experiences an O. People like Emma have never experienced it before, so that's a big goal, is what I'm trying to say. Many people have tried in the past to achieve that for women and failed. If you'd asked me at the start of this series would all of these women experience that, I would have said no, but you never know, okay? I'm hopeful. It's funny because they don't pair them up with the male virgins or the male coaches to help them achieve this. They actually just give them a bunch of toys and tell them to go back to their cabins and just, you know, experiment, I guess. Not experiment, that's not, they're not a fucking scientist, Carl. Make sure you get all your variables right, Emma. You're independent, you're dependent, okay? And whilst all of the girls are experimenting, they just keep in like a little bit of the audio and it's just a little bit uncomfortable. Oh my good God. Well, I mean, that explains why the therapists are groundbreaking. The ground is literally shaking right now. See, if that was me, I'd be like, God, someone's getting a lot of texts. Someone's very popular. Need to turn the notifications off. They're going to have to start listing those rose toys on the Richter scale at this point. Croatia's never going to be the same. Emma then opens up about this experience of using the toys and she says that she tried to get an O, but she just couldn't do it because she didn't feel sexy enough. And again with Emma, I feel like she just needs to, I don't know what it is, but I guess she needs to believe in herself a little bit more. And the more she kind of goes through these workshops, the better she's getting. So hopefully she'll reach that point at the end. This is so weird to say. Meanwhile, all of the guys are trying to convince each other that actually maybe being a virgin's the cool thing to be.
I reckon there's loads of people who've had sex who are doing it horribly. There's no way my mates know all the shit that I've been taught.
I love this. At this point, they're like, maybe if we don't lose our V, we need to cover our backs here. Does anyone else actually think that, like, you know, like, just having your virginity is actually really cool now? Yeah, I might actually just put it in my Instagram bio. It's actually quite cool. They're just trying to convince themselves. Being a virgin is completely fine, okay? Like, if you're not a virgin or you are a virgin, you're the same person, right? Like, no one's going to judge you, really. And if they do, they're a bit of an arsehole. But it's just funny seeing them trying to convince themselves, yeah? This is what I do when I'm like, I don't know, I'm at the Morrison's chicken counter and then someone takes the last 5 chicken fillets. I'm like, I don't even like chicken fillets. Even if chicken fillets were there, I wouldn't even have picked them. I don't even like them. What? Chicken fillets? Me. Moving on, surrogate partner Kat is having a one-to-one with Taylor and she's trying to push Taylor out of her comfort zone. However, Taylor isn't really having it that much.
I was thinking we could maybe try like something a little bit more organic, some like kissing and like, oh.
I love Taylor. She was like, oh, were you? You were thinking that, were you? Well, you better think of something different, love. Thought we'd just watch SpongeBob if I'm being honest. Kissing? No, not for me. No, thank you very much. Taylor then admits that she's never actually kissed somebody sober, so obviously this is like a big thing for her. Like, to other people, this might be like, why don't you just kiss her? But like in her head, she would have been building this up for so long. She also starts crying again, bless her. Like, you know, this is a very overwhelming experience for her. However, Kat really handles her well, and they kind of just like edge closer to each other. They end up hugging, and then they actually end up kissing. Not just like a peck, like a full-on snog. Like an actual kissing virginity has been lost here. Is that a thing? I don't even know, but it's an achievement, if anything. Go on, Taylor lass. Obviously, none of us know Taylor personally, but I feel like weirdly proud of her because she's been through so much and this is such a huge, monumental moment in her life. Especially because she recently came out, like her having this experience with a woman is just so important, and it means when she leaves this island, you know, she has a better idea of what she likes. From one first kiss to another, Jason is on his way to have his first kiss and he thinks it's going to be absolutely traumatic.
I know my first kiss is going to be sloppy and weird, and I can only imagine the horror of the first one.
What does he think's going to happen? Like, obviously, you know, if you've never done it before, you are going to be like, oh my God, that is just, I can't even imagine doing that. But when he's saying it's going to be like, oh, like not the Cookie Monster. You know, he doesn't live on Sesame Street or something. It is true, though. Like, when you've never, like, kissed someone before, you do go, oh, am I going to be, like, a terrible kisser? Or, like, are they going to think I'm weird? But, like, I guess once you do it, you're just like, oh, what was I even really worried about? It's just such a weird thing that you build up in your mind. If it's any consolation, Jason, I think I'm still terrible at it, so, you know, you haven't got huge heights to reach is what I'm trying to say. In his one-to-one meeting with Joy, they both, like, strip completely naked, and then they kind of start rubbing their bodies off each other. As you do, casually, when you meet someone. And then if by magic, Jason ends up kissing her. Come on, Jace! Oh, put it there! Right, 2 kisses in 10 minutes. That's what I'm talking about. That's why I tuned in. It's not, but, you know, always good to see. Is it? I don't know. Sound like a bit of a weirdo right now. I feel like he really deserves it, right? Like, the guy's come a huge way. 20 centimetres, actually. No, that's disgusting again. Cam, come on.
The best feeling in the world. I know it's not sex, but still. It feels great. I thought it'd be crap, but...
This is so, like, endearing, bless him. You know, like, I think a lot of people watching this will be like, well, you haven't really kissed someone because they're kind of paid to kiss you. But I can see this from both point of views. Like, from his point of view, he might have just needed to get his first kiss out the way to just get some confidence, which means he can then go on to kiss other people. But then I can also see the point of view of, it's a little bit weird that, you know, this person has kind of trained him to kiss and she doesn't really want to kiss him. She's kissing him because she has to be there. I definitely think there's positives and negatives to these experiences. When Jason goes back to the group to tell them all that he's done his first kiss, you can see that Zach is getting a little bit agitated as he isn't making as much progress as the other people.
What, your therapist sucked you off?
No, not yet, but they might do today. I might ask her for that. She would probably do it.
You know, I don't want to be too harsh on Zach because, you know, he's just in this experience the same as everyone else. But the way that he talks about, like, I guess women, or even talking about the coaches, is like a bit derogatory. Like, yeah, if I want it, she'll give us it. Like, it's a little just, he's not like treating the surrogate partner as if they're an actual human. They're just someone there to serve him, which, like, their job is to help, but they're still a human. But he doesn't kind of, you can tell he's not really acknowledging that. He keeps saying to the group that he's going to do more today and he's going to be like the one to like do some touching. And a lot of the group are saying like, you might need to slow down just so you're not disappointed if it doesn't happen.
I might fucking lose my virginity tonight.
I don't think it'll get tonight. I think it'll be the next one.
What, for you?
No, for you.
I mean, I would know better than you.
Oh, it's a little bit David Brent, isn't it? Well, actually, I'd probably know more about my penis than you. How many times have you seen mine? Yeah. I can't see it from his point of view because I just feel like he hasn't got the perspective that the other people have on this situation. Like, in his head, he's like, I'm ready. However, like, emotionally, other people can see that he's not really ready because he's not actually wanting it for the right reasons. I've said before in this video, I feel like a lot of people are breaking down emotional boundaries when it comes to intimacy. With Zach, I feel like he just wants the fact that he's not a virgin anymore. I don't think it's as deep for him. Zach then goes into his one-to-one session with Kat and he's fully convinced that he's going to lose his fee in this session. Will he be successful though? Now this session is definitely the most uncomfortable kind of exchange in the entire series. Zach is telling Kat that he really wants to move forward, he wants to do more stuff, and Kat really puts the brakes on and you can see in Kat's face she's very uncomfortable. It's almost as if like she doesn't really want to be there and she's never been like that with anyone else in the experience. They're having a little bit of like a frosty kind of back and forth and then Zach says this.
I think I came in here, you know, confident, and I don't know if you find that intimidating.
Yeah, so I know that you're used to just dealing with people that are scared. Obviously, a sexual god like myself, you're not really going to experience on a daily basis. So I can imagine this is why this is just not working. I'm a little bit too advanced. I guess that's the thing. I've skipped too many levels too fast. I'm too good for my own good sometimes, you know. Sir! You are a virgin! The same as everyone else here. What do you mean you're intimidated? The fact you would think that you're intimidating is also a bit of a red flag because why would you want that over someone? You can see in Kat's face here, she's totally checked out. Like, there's not a single chance they're going to do anything intimate here. To be a little bit sympathetic to Zach, even though I shouldn't really be, I don't really feel like he means what he's saying. I feel like he's so angry that he's not making progress that he's just trying to, he's almost trying to like hurt her in a way, just like emotionally. The way Zach talks to women is just like totally off, and it's just like I don't understand why he thinks that someone would like to be talking to that way, because if somebody used the same language to Zach, he wouldn't like it.
What's up?
I can't even get laid by the person who's there to teach me how to do it.
It's like this, it's just such r/nice guys territory, this. Yeah, well, you know, the person that's meant to just, you know, do stuff with us, they don't want to. God, I can't catch a break. Nice guys never win, do the guys? It's very manipulative behaviour and I don't really like to see it. I don't necessarily think it makes him a terrible person, but I just feel like he needs to fix this attitude. Otherwise, no one's going to ever want to be intimate with you. Because this conversation was really intense, Kat and Zach then get taken into this room with an external therapist who kind of talks them through the issues they're having, and it actually turns into a really positive conversation. Zach apologises for the way that he spoke to Kat Kat, and Kat kind of like accepts his apology. And this is the first time we really see Zach actually open up and be vulnerable. I believe he just has this wall, and once someone hurts his ego, he kind of lashes out a little bit, but behind that, he's actually quite insecure. Now, do I think Zach is going to lose his virginity by the end of this series? Do I fuck? Definitely not. I will not be putting a bet on that. Okay. This man came to this island a virgin and he's going to leave as one. But hopefully he has improved as a person. One thing that is interesting that happens after this is we get our first interview with Pia. Now you're probably thinking, Cam, who the hell is Pia? And honestly, you'd be very valid for that. She has had little to no screen time at all. We know nothing about her, nothing really about her journey. I don't know why that is. I don't know if the producers just didn't find it as interesting as the other people. She is very quiet, but obviously, like, you know, that's the type of person that comes on this show, you know, someone that is kind of, you know, introverted. It's just pretty sad because we're basically at the end of episode 5 here, and we can't really get invested in her journey because we don't know anything about her. Whereas somebody like Jason has had a considerable amount of screen time and like you're fully invested in his journey. Like before he came to this island, he wouldn't even hug somebody. Now he's rolling around naked with Joy on a bed. Not only is he doing that, in his next session with Joy, he actually finishes. Granted, you know, they don't actually do the deed. He has his boxers on, she has some clothes on, but he still finishes. Okay, I'm taking that as a moral victory. Just change your underpants, okay, Jason? Get them off, right? Throw them away. Don't put them back on. To be fair, why am I thinking he's going to frame these at this point? I'm This show's just, it's boggling me mind, man.
I'm really uncomfortable. Can I go to my tent? I need to change my boxes.
Oh, what? You kept them on for the interview? Oh, jeez. What's it? Oh, jeez. Bro. Oh, what? You got... Surely just chuck them in the sea, man. Oh. See what I did there? Chuck them in the sea, man. See, because it's semen. I'm losing my mind here. I feel like I'm turned into some disgusting fiend right now. From one miracle to another, for some reason, Zach has now decided he's going to shave his head. I'm unsure if this guy's just going through a total meltdown right now.
This is a good head. I like rubbing this head. Like a genie in a lamp.
Maybe he's hoping that when he goes into his next session with Kat, she's not going to recognise him. She's going to be like, oh, I didn't know we had a bald virgin on the island. Come here, son. At this point, a lot of the virgins are moving forward with their one-to-ones. One funny conversation is what Dave says it felt like to touch a woman's bits for the first time. I remember this being clipped up on social media before I even watched the show and was like, I'm intrigued. I have to watch this.
I didn't expect it to feel, it's so like jelly-like. I didn't expect that.
You'd say jelly-like? Yeah, honestly, it was like some jelly and some semolina. Jelly-like. I don't... Are you sure you touched what you say you touched? Jelly? What, like... Oh. You just know Dave's going to raid the local Aldi for some jelly supplies. Just like jelly, innit? Just like jelly. Dave then has his most intense one-to-one session with Kat. Kat's doing a lot of, you know, the touching, and this is his reaction. Obviously, I can't show all of this.
Yeah,
that feels good.
Yeah, I mean, all of it feels good.
I have so much respect for the people taking part in this show, you know, the virgins, because I don't understand how they can, you know, get this done to them whilst there's a whole production team just standing there like... Especially, you know, that would destroy me confidence if, like, one of the cameramen are, like, you know, having to adjust the lens to zoom in a bit more. I'd be like, all right, we'll get it. Yeah, I know. I'm working on it, okay? Not everyone's a shower. It's the fact his review was, yeah, that's good. Yeah. No, that's... It's like he's rated something on TripAdvisor. Yeah, they did a great job. Honestly, it was great. 5 out of 5. Would recommend to a friend. I can't wait to show you what happens in the final one-to-one with Kat and Dave because it's genuinely insane. But one thing Dave actually ends up doing in this session is not only does he finish for the first time, but also he makes Kat finish, which, like, sorry, Dave. I was not familiar with your game, fella. Wow, he's basically a pro now. What you mean? This must be such a weird job to have. Like, I have no idea how do you even get into this role? I'm obviously asking for a friend. I don't want to do it. They're not just like advertising this on Indeed, are they? I don't know. Maybe they are. Dave then says at the end of the session, like in our final session, can I lose me V? And then Kat just laughs. So could Dave be the only person to leave this island virginless? I have no idea. He's got the closest chance though. Moving on, it is now time for the final episode of Virgin Island. I'm so excited. How many virgins will leave virginless? Is that a word? I have no idea. Will Zach complete his dream? I highly doubt it. Will they actually leave this island, or will all of the virgins just get killed? I'm still none the wiser. Anything could happen here. And also, I want to mention again at the end of this episode, we have a very exclusive interview. First interview with one of the people from the show. Let's get into it. So the final episode of Virgin Island stems the final phase of the process, which they call escalation. So you can only imagine what's going to happen here. They're getting 12 virgins from another island and they're all just going to fight. No, that would be totally random and probably wouldn't be here for it. As with every new episode of Virgin Island, they always started off with a workshop that is crazier than the last episode, and that is true in the final episode, as this escalation workshop is mental.
Yeah, nice and hard.
Great.
Yeah. Right. What do you mean? Why are you telling him to put you against the wall and saying harder love? This is uncomfortable for anyone, bless him. You know what, Ben's probably doing a lot better of a job than I would. I would just be like, come on, I can't do this. Really? You're gonna make us do this in front of everyone? It's the fact they always just walk off after, like, thank you. This show, man. I'm gonna be sad when I finish it. After this, Dave then attends one of his final one-to-ones with Kat, and I feel kind of sorry for him because the show, like the way they've edited it, they put like really dramatic music over it. Like this is a big moment in his life and it's so over-dramatized.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm good.
Like they're making out as if he's going to war here. As if he's Braveheart, fighting for his freedom. Oh, bless him, I love him. Obviously, we kind of know what these two are building up to with Dave. There's a bed in this one-to-one, which kind of throws Dave off because usually, I think they were doing it on like the couch and stuff. Like they actually hadn't had a bed. And this kind of intimidates him because I guess it's like the real thing at that point. Like when you see a bed, like subconsciously it just is going to make you go, oh, well, I know what this means.
I want to be ready for it, you know? I've just got to go in and just see what happens.
I love that he just sits on the edge of the bed, like awkwardly, like everyone does when you go to like, you know, someone's house for the first time. You just sit like this, don't you? You're like, just very like straight back. Just, I don't know why you sit like this. For what reason? I don't know. It's just like, this is like a moment everyone's had. It's like you don't want to put too much weight on the bed in case the bed starts stinking of your ass. Anyone else? Later in this episode, Dave does have one final one-to-one with Kat, and honestly what happens in that is going to blow your mind. But in this one, they also do, like, they get intimate, but they don't do the, you know, the final thing. This is so weird having to like word this to get around YouTube guidelines.
Yeah, that's good.
Like, I can't play any of this, but you can hear them making noises. And instead of obviously showing them, they just start playing like B-roll of like the environment. Like they just start showing the trees, the beach, the waves, as if it's some sort of like lo-fi hip-hop beat on YouTube. It's mental, man. What is this show? The show then turns its attention to another person who hasn't been given much airtime, and this is Holly. Holly has had quite an interesting journey, but we haven't really seen much of it. However, like, she's also been on this experience, so I didn't want to like miss her out of my video. I still wanted to include it because, you know, she's valid for what she's going through. After coming to Virgin Island, her, like Taylor, have kind of discovered that they're bisexual, and she says that she would never have like known this about herself, or at least never have came out about it unless she'd been on this show. So this kind of shows that, you know, Virgin Island is actually helping these people to discover what they actually do like. Now, I did mention at the start of introducing episode 6 that Zach could possibly lose his fee. However, that isn't the case. Not at all. Not even close. Although he does make up with his surrogate partner, Kat, they end up just hugging and they don't even like get intimate at all, which I think everybody kind of predicted after what went down between them two. As you've seen throughout this entire series, Ben has really struggled to kind of get into this. Like, he just doesn't feel like that side of him coming out that much. And he has a real fear of being naked, not only with people, but like just by himself. He doesn't like it. However, his partner Joy tries to really break down this barrier for him, and she basically makes him take his top off and just cuddle her on the bed, just kind of being around someone when he's kind of like kind of naked. However, he is just really awkward during this. Like, it almost looks like instead of cuddling, he's doing some sort of like Brazilian jiu-jitsu in the UFC. Just the positions he's put her in, it all just looks very uncomfortable, but he is trying. But I am pretty sure at one point he did have Joy in a headlock. Like, I'm pretty sure she was tapping out. That's a joke, right? I want to make that very clear. He didn't have her in a headlock choking her out. And in a final bid to try and make Ben more comfortable with, you know, just this side of himself, Joy decides to play the animal game with him, where basically, instead of like thinking what they're gonna do, they just kind of make animal noises and just go off instinct and just kind of like get close to each other and hug each other. It's a little bit mental, I'm not gonna lie. Don't know if you can take this into any relationship in the future. Like, ooh, I've got an idea in the bedroom today, Deirdre. How about we play the animal game? Rah! No, sorry, that was, oh, what? What? Why did I do that to myself? However, this animal game seems to really work for Ben, as Joy manages to get Ben to strip completely naked in front of her. However, they don't show this, like with other people, they've kind of just went full guns and showed it. With Ben, they hide him behind a room divider, so the cameras can't see it, but Joy can. Which I also think is a really nice thing, because it shows they're actually trying to help these people. Like, they quite clearly could have embarrassed him and put him, like, on for, like, the whole world to see. But I'm kind of glad they didn't. Like, we don't need to see that, but just knowing that he's, like, broke down them barriers. And it shows that he's, like, gained some confidence since coming here, which, if he's not going to lose his virginity, he can still take victory in that. It's just so sad, because as soon as he takes his clothes off, he's like, is my body normal? Does it look okay? Like, what about us down there? Am I the right size? And then Joy just tells him, like, yeah, it's all good. Like, you're literally fine. So clearly he's just so self-conscious, and it's just nice that someone's given him the validation that he's just normal. He's like, he's perfect. He's fine. Because he's told so many stories to us, such as, like, when he used to go to his ex's house, he wouldn't get changed in front of her. He'd have to go to the bedroom and lock the door and then, like, get changed and then come out. Like, this is very clearly a really self-conscious guy here. From Ben, who's been making slow progress, somebody that has went like from 0 to 100 real quick is Charlotte. She's went from quiet to now acting like a dominatrix in the bedroom with her surrogate partner Andre. She's like fully controlling him and telling him what to do. It's like he's the nervous one and she's the experienced one. I don't really understand this, because it was kind of hard to watch a little bit, but you can definitely tell that this is something she'll probably do when she leaves Virgin Islands. But I can't lie, this was one of the most uncomfortable things that I've ever watched, just because, like, it's just weird watching two people kind of talk like this. Like, it is for anyone. After all of their one-to-ones, the group are then set a final challenge where they have to, like, write a letter to their potential future partner.
I don't like writing letters. Can I write a text instead?
Would shagging by the Tesco bins be a bit too graphic?
Yeah, probably. Right, I'd probably just scratch that one off. Just Tipp-X that one out, fella. Right? I don't think that's the best place to, you know, especially lose it. I mean, at least you'll remember where it was. You know, every single time you drive by, you'll go, you see them bins. That's where I lost it. Ma'am? Ma'am, are you listening? I don't tell your mum that. That's a terrible conversation to have with your mother. I guess it depends which bin it is. If it's like the, you know, the one that's like the rubbish bin, recycling bin, okay, now we're talking, right? Renewable. We can do this again, right? We're recycling, if any... Shit crock. Again, Jason is so important to this series just for a little bit of comedic relief after watching such uncomfortable scenes. Moving on, we now get our final one-to-one between Dave and Kat. Now, the entire series has been building up Dave to be possibly the only person that actually loses his fee on this island. I don't know if that's crazy or not. I don't know if, like, I expected all of these people to lose their fee, but if one person can leave this island virginless, like... And he enjoyed it. I guess, is that a success? I have no idea what is success for this show. As long as everyone's not scarred for life, then I'm happy. But will Dave do it? I am so intrigued. Let's see. Everything he's ever worked for is leading up to this moment. Okay, so I can't show this, but...
You know how? Yeah, you just pinch the top. And you want to roll it all the way.
My boy's done it. He's only went and done it. Star boy, Dave. Davey boy. Dave the Rave. Oh. Well done, Dave. Well done, son. Why am I saying well done, man? This show's so strange at times. Why am I clapping someone getting the V taken away from them? One thing I will say is I really feel like it was unneeded for them to keep the entirety of the audio in. Like, they don't show you, but they keep the entire audio in of them going at it. And, like, it just made me think, if I watched this with my family, I don't think I would ever be able to speak to them again. Like, I'd have to move out and just cut contact, just delete their phone number. I just don't know how we would kind of work around our relationship at that point. Like, I'd be going out the room and sticking the kettle on, even if it was like midnight. I'd be like, anyone want a cuppa? Anyone, please say yes. Just touching the wall, just like, oh, you wouldn't be able to put a TV on that. Right, you know, it's a thin wall. Yeah. Yeah, is that over? Is it over? No, it's still on, is it? Yeah. I never knew I had this. Yeah. It's hilarious because right at the point where, you know, they're getting there, they show the waves hitting across the rocks, and I don't know if it's meant to, like, insinuate something. It's so strange.
Thank you for this.
And how does it feel now? Not a virgin.
At least she didn't, like, roll over and leave, you know. Like, at least she's, like, staying with them and just, like, you know, holding them. Very nice of you, Kat. You know, you could have went, my mission's complete here. I'm out of here. I don't need to touch you again, Dave. But she didn't, right? She stayed because she's nice and she's being paid. Dave seems happy, though. You know, I think he seems happy.
I feel good about being the person with him in that. It's a lot easier if you've done it once.
Is that true? Like, is it easier if you've done it once? Like, it shouldn't be. Like, I know it should be because obviously you've got more experience, but it shouldn't be like, oh, well, that's a huge weight off my shoulders. Like, that shouldn't be the culture that we've kind of, you know, created around this. It's almost like, oh, if I just, like, get rid of it once, then I'm fine. Then it's off me back. Okay, people can't call us it anymore. Like, it should, like, it's a shame that these people feel so pressured to, you know, have to do this. But it's not just these people. It's, like, loads of young people, like, if not, like, the majority of young people right now feel pressured that they need to lose it, otherwise they're not cool, which is just really sad that, you know, shows like this actually are created because of that. But I mean, I've enjoyed this so far, I've got to say.
Still got a lot of catching up to do, but I feel like I'm on the board now.
A lot of catching up. Let me know in the comment section, do you think, like, going to this kind of place and actually losing your V like Dave has would help you? Like, do you think that is, do you know, like, that huge weight? Do you think it makes it easier going into future relationships? It'd be interesting to hear your opinion on it. Because I know I've, like went across the board with all this. Like, it's just, I feel like I need more opinions on this. It's funny after this because when Dave returns to the group, he just kind of plays it a little bit cool.
You have a session?
Yeah.
How'd it go?
I think it went well. Yeah. I'm just really tired.
Oh, okay.
Exhausting day.
just you know, just really tired, you know, exhausting. Oh God, it's so tiring having sex. Wouldn't get it, would you? No, you know, yeah, I've just, you know, obviously I've just done it, but you wouldn't get it, no. He's basically just said it without saying it there. He just kind of doesn't want to brag about it. I think he's really humble. Humble? Can you be humble, like, losing your V here? I don't think there's a way to not be humble. Anyway, moving on, all of the virgins are then gathered for the final time in a group with all of the coaches and the therapists, and they all read out the letter that they wrote to their future partner, and it's really nice because you see a lot of growth from all of the people, or most of the people. They talk about their experience on the show and, like, how they've kind of bettered themselves. Obviously, Taylor and Holly talk about them both coming out. Tom is comfortable wearing makeup, whereas before, like, he said he kind of wanted to do it, but, you know, he's never really, you know, felt, you know, comfortable enough to do it, and this show's broke down them barriers for him. Ben says before he came to this island, he felt repulsive, but now he feels like people would actually want him. Like, you know, like which is a really nice thing, because the fact he thought he was repulsive is such a horrific thing to think about yourself. Like, Ben, you're great. Emma has so much more confidence, and I'm really happy for her because, like, the journey she's been on is, like, amazing. She should be so proud of herself. I think she's definitely, like, a fan favourite from the show just because of how honest she was. Like, she literally just threw herself into this experiment and just give it her all. All of the rest of the cast as well basically just say how much, like, coming here has helped them. They all seem to speak really positively about it. Taylor gets up and is really emotional and, like, thanks the coaches and therapists for just, like, helping her, like, just get to where she is today.
I want to thank you for your patience and understanding. You helped me feel confident and see who I am and see myself in a place beyond here.
What are you doing? What? Oh, Taylor, you bloody queen, love. Absolute queen. Just crying, bless her. I do kind of like it that they all haven't just lost their virginity for the sake of doing it. Like, I like that obviously Dave has, but the rest of them have just gained in confidence. Like, they've called this island Virgin Island, and obviously some of the workshops are a little bit off, you know, but in reality, they've all just kind of improved their confidence coming here, like a lot of them have, which is only a good thing, really, even though, you know, it kind of is like a little bit like a cult. I wouldn't sign up for it, right? After watching this, I'd be like, I'm staying, like, clear of that island. And then the series just ends, like, on this note, this kind of positive note. They have, like, a party on the island where they drink and stuff, and they just seem to, like, all be getting on as if they're, like, a huge, big family. And in conclusion, like, when I saw the name Virgin Island, I thought this was going to be the worst thing on earth. And I will admit, like, a lot of the stuff was really weird in this, and like it did make us feel uncomfortable. I was really uncomfortable watching a lot of this. However, it was better than what I thought it was going to be. Like, I was actually invested in the people's journeys, and I was rooting for a lot of the people. And I feel like it had the right amount of comedic relief, and I feel like they're going to make, like, a Virgin Island 2, like a series 2, because the amount of people that have actually enjoyed this, I know a lot of people have got their thoughts about, you know, possibly the coaches being a bit predatory, and I can totally understand that point of view. But I definitely think that Channel 4 will commission this for a second series. Now, I did say we're going to do updates on all of the virgins, so here it is. Because obviously this was filmed like over a year ago. So the Lad Bible did an article on Ben, and apparently Ben is still a virgin and is jobless, which that's not a very nice title from the Lad Bible. Like, they're kind of just kicking him when he's down there. Although he says that everyone kind of accredits his entire personality to just being a virgin. He says that he doesn't feel humiliation or embarrassment about it, which is only a good thing, and hopefully he can take that into, like, his everyday life. When I was researching for Dave, I found out that he's in a relationship, which is, like, obviously a great thing for him. And he's also posting loads on TikTok.
I think when it comes to the most interesting story for how you lost your virginity, I think I win. I think I've won that.
To be fair, like, that is, like, a funny thing to bring up when you're all talking about, like, how you lost it. If you're with your mates or something, or, like, new people who don't know who you are, they'd be like, what? Like, that's a really interesting story. Yeah, I just went to, like, this retreat in Croatia that was on Channel 4, and yeah, basically this person that was, you know, a surrogate partner just did it with us. They'd be like, you're talking shit. You're bullshitting me right now. Also, Dave kind of won Virgin Island, I guess. Can you win Virgin Island? Don't really think you can. It's like being the tallest short person. Jason has been, like, taking the piss all of the time on his TikTok. Like, I've been liking them all. Like, I'm a big fan of Jason. I think he's great.
Just so you all know, I'm a grower, not a shower. Alright, have mercy on me. I'm a grower, not a shower.
Me too, brother. Put it there. Thank you very much, my grower king. Oh, God, what am I saying? He's also appeared on This Morning with Taylor also, and they both seem to be doing really well. A lot of the contestants are posting on TikTok. Like, I saw Louise was joking about how she didn't know that you could get the producers to blur your bits, whereas, like, other people had that done, where they don't get to show their bits, where she just fully went for it.
What the hell? What the hell?
You would be devastated. You would be like, oh my God, what? There was an option for that? Why did nobody tell us? I just know if it was me, I'd see, like, the cameraman bringing in, like, a 200mm lens, like a zoom lens, and I'd be like, hey, that cheeky bastard, what's he doing with that one? Eh? Put that away. One person I do feel a little bit sorry for is Pia. Like, she's been getting kind of people on her TikTok saying, like, oh, you were a mute, you didn't talk. Like, why are you promoting the series? You weren't even really in it. And that's sad because, like, she still went on the experience, and her experience on it is still really valid, even if she didn't get the airtime because she might have been a bit more quiet, or the producers thought it wasn't as interesting as the other people. Like, she still deserves to have validation for being on this, and, you know, she clearly pushed herself out of her comfort zone here. Now, I couldn't find anything out about Zach. I don't know if he is posting and I just couldn't find it, but I did have a good look. I feel like since the series is dropped, he's probably had the most negative attention, so I don't know if he's just had a break from it, because, you know, I can't imagine what it's like for a series to drop like this, where you just go from nobody knowing who you are to, like, millions of people knowing who you are overnight and possibly seeing you in a certain light. It must be really overwhelming. So I just hope his mental health's okay. I couldn't find anything for Holly either. I did look, but I don't know if she's just kind of, being more offline. I don't want to, with these people, I don't want to pry too much if they're, don't want to, be as public. Now, one person that everybody who watched this show loved was Emma. Like, Emma has been posting on TikTok and she's been getting like millions of views. Like, everyone's saying how amazing she is and she should have more confidence with herself. And one absolutely mental thing is that we have managed to get an exclusive conversation with Emma. I sat down with Emma while she was traveling to New Zealand in the airport, and we just discussed her experience on the show. We talk about how she's doing now. We talk about like her altercation with Zach and what really went down. We cover a lot of things, so I hope you enjoy it. And I'm just so grateful to Emma for giving the time to us, because she's also a donor and watches the channel. So enjoy, donuts. I'm so glad to bring this to you. Okay, so we are joined by the lovely Emma from Virgin Island right now. There she is.
Here she is, the Queen herself.
How are you?
I'm good, thank you. How are you?
Yeah, I'm good. I've been trying to get this interview just chat sorted with you. Like, over the past day, I've been so excited to chat to you because obviously we've reviewed the entire series. Having you on the channel is just such like a good like insight into just how you're getting on, everything like that. Just first off, where are you now? Just explain to my audience.
So I'm currently in the airport. I came to London for 5 days just for the last episode of Virgin Islands, and I also saw some family down here too, but I'm back up to New Zealand. So I actually was travelling Australia from September last year up until 2 weeks ago, and then I was in New Zealand. And I'm going back up there, so I'm just in the airport chilling currently.
Wow, your life must be so exciting right now. Can I just ask you like a couple of questions just about just the show in general and just you yourself? Like, want to get onto that later. I guess the first one is, prior to going on, like, were you nervous? Like, obviously understanding what the possible concept could be and everything like that.
Yeah, of course. So it's very nerve-wracking going for any sort of television programme, right? But because of the concept of Virgin Island and the stigma around it, I feel like it amps the nerves up times 10. I think knowing that I was going in there with everyone else being a virgin made it so much easier because it's less pressure. You all share something in common. Even though we don't know these people yet, we know that we have something in common, right? So definitely a nerve-wracking experience, but excitement comes with nerves. And I just think if you never step out your comfort zone, you're never going to know any different.
Do you know what? It's so good to hear you talk like that, because I feel like have you ever been on a TV show before or done anything on camera before this?
No.
Really? Because you look like, obviously you had your bits where like you're talking to the camera and you're obviously just nervous like everyone is, but you just seemed quite like so comfortable. Like, it didn't seem like that was your first TV show, I didn't think.
Really? Yeah. That's interesting actually, because I didn't think of it like that. I had a panic attack before I went in for that interview.
Right.
Yeah, I was really nervous. It was horrible.
Because obviously, you've said like you were like shitting it, like you were nervous before going on. Like, I think I would, like, especially like when you're going on the show, it's obviously not live, so you're not getting like instant feedback. How was it when the show, like, you'd recorded it all, the show's edited, and then it just drops? Like, what was that feeling like?
Well, obviously you go through months of editing, like months of casting, months of interviews, right? And then you film it all, and then we've got to wait for like a year for it to come out. So this whole time I've known it's coming, but no one else has. So when it drops, I'm kind of just like, oh, okay, like I'm used to this now. But then obviously that's when the public get involved. That's when you open yourself up to social media recognition, people recognizing you from school and college and work, and messaging you and saying, oh, I've seen you on this. And it's a little bit, some of it can be a bit much, right? Because people who actually probably contributed to me being a virgin in school and said horrible things to me, it made me feel like I was outnumbered and alone.
Yeah.
Actually messaged me since saying, oh, I'm so proud of you. You've done really well on this show.
Like, changed up.
Yeah. And they've also commented on TikTok videos saying, oh, I know this girl. But you wouldn't comment on a video you wouldn't post on Facebook 2 months ago saying, oh, yeah, I know Emma Keynes.
No.
When Emma is irrelevant. Like, people go feral when something like this comes out. So it's definitely, it's been like a roller coaster the whole time.
I was going to say, has it been overwhelming? Because my growth on YouTube has been gradual. So it's kind of like I've just got used to it. Whereas yours is almost like, bang, it's here. It's just, I can't imagine what that feeling's like.
Of course, I feel like it hasn't really sunk in, and I don't think it will. But also, things like this die down. So I don't know how long the hype is going to stay around.
Right, okay. And are you happy with like the response you've got from it?
Yes, of course. Yeah. I think I am very lucky in a position where I have received a good response because of what I've gone on the show and what I've stood for.
Yeah.
I feel like a lot of young women and other people can relate to me and look up to me, and I've actually received a lot of messages confirming this.
Yeah.
Although I didn't go into that thinking that, and I just went into it being myself, and it's incredible how many people are messaging me and they're saying, oh, I can't believe you've gone through this and you spoke about this, because I've never heard anyone speak about it. So it's really good to be the voice. I like this saying of, you will never change a world when you remain the same as it.
Yes.
Be the voice of people who don't want to speak up.
Yeah, of course.
But I just think it's really incredible. I think this show covers a wide range of people's issues, and I think a lot of people can look up to it.
100%. And also, like, I don't know if you've heard this from other people, but like, I know my audience will like just appreciate so much how you were like, I feel like you were possibly one of the most vulnerablest in the show. Like, just, I feel like you weren't holding back. You were just like really opening up, kind of opening yourself up the process, especially when you opened up about stuff when you were younger. Like, I remember watching that being like, Jesus Christ, like, just, you have this instant like attachment as if like you're rooting. Like, people were rooting for you to do well. So, like, I think a lot of people being happy to see, well, just looking at you now, you seem like it's a positive experience after appearing on the show.
Of course, 100%. No, definitely. And like you say, what happened when I was younger. So from the age of 7 to 22, I had not heard anyone else speak about Potter. I thought I was the only one who had experienced this incident when I was 7. Until I'd seen a video online of someone else addressing it, but they didn't really go into detail. They just spoke about it briefly. And I was like, oh my God, do you know what? I actually experienced that. And you hold guilt for it for years. And I felt so disgusting. It was something which would cross my brain, and then I would just push it out. I would try to push it down. When we have a traumatic thought, we don't want to think about it. We want to push it to the side. But when you address the thought and you open it up, you allow yourself to be content with it, and then you can talk about it with no issues because you're fine with it yourself.
1,000,000%. So do you feel like a lot more, I know obviously what you've been through is a very deep thing, and it's it doesn't just heal just by talking about it once, but do you feel just more like it's confident, right? You know what I'm trying to get at? Just, do you feel more comfortable talking about it?
Yeah, definitely, 100%. So I remember last year, I was in the car with my friends, and we, when you go on a late night drive, driving for a deep chat
in the fields,
and of course, good playlist on, that's it. And I had actually brought this up to him, and he was the first person. I've been friends with him for 7 years, but I had never told him this, and he was the first person I'd ever told. And bringing it up to him, and he responded to it so well, it really made me comfortable to talk about it. So he really helped me through that. And I just realised I wasn't the only one experiencing that.
That's amazing, because the fact that you've opened up to him and he's been positive with it, and then you've actually said this to millions of people now, and that's going to help so many people. So if someone hasn't already told you that, I just wanted to thank you for that, because that's such an amazing thing.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. Thank you.
And are you thinking about, because I know you've uploaded quite a few TikToks and stuff, are you thinking about getting into this kind of world in general, or are you not bothered?
I'd definitely set up a camera and film a video, but then I'd watch it back and I'd be like, Emma, you are fucking awful, and I'll just delete it. I wouldn't do anything with it.
Yeah.
Obviously this has given me a great platform to do what I want with social media. However, I don't want to go down the typical route of, buy this on TikTok shop, 24 toilet rolls. No, I want to inspire people and have a conversation which people don't talk about, and which people are really eggshelling around. So this is what I'm really struggling with, right? So I do have my friend Will, bless him, he's really trying to help me. He's like, I think you should post this and this, because we're told not to carpet our social media with Virgin Island, which is good, but then you want to keep it a good level so you don't shove it in people's faces too much, that they enjoy the ride. Because then also I feel like I don't want to take advantage of an audience. If I start making money from this, I don't know how that would make me feel, because it's like I didn't do it for the money. I did it for the people. I did it because I want people to feel valued.
It's like a moral dilemma, isn't it? You're almost like you don't want to seem like you're taking advantage of it. But at the end of the day, you're not taking advantage of it because it's your story. And at the end of the day, like, you are the best person to tell your story. So if that happens to make money, you know, that might not be the primary focus, but if that happens to come when you're making the content, then that's just a bonus, but that's obviously not the primary thing. So you should never feel guilty for that, because the people who are watching you like you and they would want you to make money doing it. What I will say is, I think that if this is the world that you want to get in, I feel like you should do it, because I think a lot of people who are watching this video would want somewhere to go to support you, whether that's like, what is you're posting the most on TikTok right now, am I right in saying?
Yes, I am, yes.
Yeah. So what is your TikTok, just if people do want to go over?
So my TikTok name is Emma.Louise with 2 E's on the end.
So there was one part in the series where you and Zach were having like a talk. Zach obviously thought he was being nice, doing this like compliment thing to all the girls. He was like, every single day, I'm going to give you all a compliment, and then his compliments were really just off and just weren't great at all. And then you actually said, like, can you leave us out? And I saw a lot of people online were like, I'm so glad that you stood up for this. Like, how did you feel doing that? Like, did that just come to you naturally?
Yeah, for me it was a no-brainer. The second he said, I'm going to give the girls compliments, my face kind of was a bit like, oh, question mark, how is this going to go, right?
Yeah.
And as you can tell, I say I'm scared in the beginning because I was absolutely petrified. I don't like people commenting on me or what I look like. So I was really concerned about where this was going to go as well.
Exactly, when you're on a journey where you're trying to get away from other people's opinions and trying to like be in your own kind of zone, aren't you?
Yes, of course. So I think one-to-one compliments, like when me and Raj had our date and we were practicing our dating skills, that was absolutely fine because it wasn't singling me out and it wasn't saying it in front of other people and pointing out their qualities.
Yeah.
Doing it in that setting, I just didn't feel comfortable with it. So I just thought I had to speak up for it, and I'm really glad that I did.
You're so valid for that, because I think you also had another conversation with Zach where you were asking him about the specific things he was saying, and he said, oh, well, I don't find that person attractive or something, that's why he said. And then it made it look even like you were so even more right for speaking up about it.
Well, of course. And when he said that made me feel even more uncomfortable, because I thought, well, okay, that's not the point.
Yeah.
And also, if that's the case, then you shouldn't be vocalizing it. Don't comment on anything about anyone.
Exactly. And
I don't understand why that's an important factor.
And it's just really great that you've got the confidence to just like, you know, stand up for yourself, because I imagine a lot of people would have been like, go on, get him.
I really hope so. Shout at the TV.
I just want to say thank you so much for like taking, you know, the time to talk to her here on the channel. And like, I want to end this on just saying, like, I know in the entire series you're talking about your confidence and stuff like that, and you just need to know that you like, especially talking to you one-on-one, you're such an amazing person, and you need to believe in yourself more. And I know, like, it's easy us saying it, like people comment on this video being like, Emma's great, but it's like, you need to believe it. Do you know what I mean?
Yes, of course. Yeah, no, you're right. Thank you so much.
And just go for it, because you've got such a platform here to talk about your story and talk about the stuff you've said that you deal with.
Oh, no, I really appreciate that. Thank you. And I'll tell you what, another thing which I always think I have struggled with, and I think it links back to this as well. So yeah, I've always feel like I'm not worthy of having anything good in life, which is really strange mindset. And I feel like this subconsciously has always caused me to self-sabotage and really put myself in vulnerable positions.
You seem like you've really spent a lot of time in your head. Like, I feel like I have, where you work out why you feel like this way and you understand this, and it might happen again, but it seems like you really understand what's going on a little bit now, especially after being off on the show. So that's like a great trait to have.
100%. And that's why I'm really proud of myself, that I was able to find myself and just... Yeah.
It's like an overall thing. Are you like happy you've been on the show? Like, has it been a positive experience overall?
100%. The show was an incredible experience, and had I not done it, I would not be in this position that I am today.
Yeah.
It's boosted my confidence in ways that I really couldn't imagine. And it's just, even though it was so long ago, there's little skills and tricks that I got from a therapist that I constantly just replay.
No, I'm just so happy, because I was like, obviously when people appear on these shows, you don't know if it's going to be, you know, really, I hated this, like, I can't believe this is, and it's just nice to see that your mental health seems to be, well, like, it's you seem to be in good spirits here, which is a really good thing. Honestly, this has been like I don't normally ever interview people or talk to people after, like, I do a video, so this has just been such a good experience for me, like, selfishly as well. So thank you so much for speaking to her, and yeah, I'm just rooting for you. I know everyone will be rooting for you. I hope everyone goes over to your TikTok just to support you, because you deserve it, and you absolutely smashed it.
Thank you so much. I appreciate this so much. I can't even put it into words. You're star, Cam. Thank you.
It's all right. And on that note, Donuts, I hope you enjoyed this video and the interview. Again, thank you so much to Emma. I know she's watching this. Thank you for dedicating the time, because we really do appreciate it, and it was such a nice ending to this video. Let me know if you enjoyed this. We've put so much work into this, me and Justin, like weeks and weeks into it. If you do want to watch us break down another full series of a TV show, click this video right here, because we put months into this one, or watch another video from us right here. Thank you very much, Donuts. If you don't mind leaving a like, it helps us out. We love you. Bye bye.